Pemberton, excuse me, had this crazy innards disease where his colon pretty much shut down. I'll let him tell you guys himself. But yeah, it's interesting. He laughs about it now, which is nice. That he doesn't really like claim pain. I hate when people take like some moment in their life and be like, and define themselves through it. You know, like if I don't know, a breakup, someone dying. That happens a lot when someone you love dies, a fiance or something, and then like 15 years later, you're still bitching about the love of my life died, and it's like, you know what? You guys dated for a year and a half. You probably would have gotten divorced. Just fucking move on from this. It wasn't always great. I saw you guys together. It wasn't always great. You guys fought a lot, and you didn't like him. And one of you cheated on the other. Anyway, where was I? I don't know what I was saying. Please visit my sponsor, Amazon.com. If you do, go through my website. If you use Amazon, you should. You should always use Amazon. Don't pay for shit anymore. Amazon has cheaper prices, and there's no tax, and it'll just come to your door. There's no reason to go outside. Pretty much just become a shut-in from now on. And when you use Amazon, go through arithegreat.com. There's a banner on the right. This brown button, whatever. This brown square. It says Amazon. Looks like a UPS thing, but it's Amazon. It says at the bottom. And then there's one underneath that for Canada, a black one. But go through there, and that takes you to Amazon. And then when you do all your shopping, they just give me a percentage of your order. It doesn't cost you anything more. It costs you the same amount. All the prices are the same. But then they give me like 6%. So do that and help my podcast survive and continue to grow. And cherish the love, everyone. Hey, I'm going to Ottawa. Well, I'm on my way to Ottawa, I guess, tomorrow, Tuesday, the 7th, the 4th, 3rd, something like that. But I'm going to watch this music festival. But if there's any fans there that maybe want to let me watch the Anderson Silva Chael Sonnen fight at their house, I'm going to try to go up early on Saturday and then fucking bolt the fuck out of there to find a place to watch it. Or if you guys are at a bar or something, let me know and I'll join you if you promise to save me a seat. So yeah, that's my sponsors. I'll be in Montreal for the entire run of the Montreal Comedy Festival. I'm doing a storyteller show. This Is Not Happening presents. I was so fucked up. Six shows. Well, 5 shows I was so fucked up, and 1 show of Shroomfest, the Shroomfest recap show, where everyone is please encouraged to come on mushrooms. It's Monday night at 11:59 at, I forget the name of the place, the Tranny Strip Club across from Club Soda. Yeah. I forgot it. I don't remember. Yeah, it's almost there. Let me find it. Cleopatra is what it's called. I looked it up. Cafe Cleopatra. 6 shows. So it's midnight every night. So come out to those. I don't know the lineups yet. I'm supposed to ask people when I get to Montreal. It's one of those fun shows we're doing. So last year, if anybody was there last year, you know how fucking fun it was. Hearing Russell Peters tell dirty stories, seeing people like that. Anyway, they're great lineups, and it's the fucking best, coolest place to hang out. So get your tickets now. It's part of ZooFest. And then in August, I'm at the Stress Factory, August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in New Jersey. So every new party in New Jersey, make plans. Come to that. Stress Factory. I'm going to try to do Opie and Anthony before I go, too. I might hang out in New York for a few days. Maybe I'll try to stay in Brooklyn this time and see what that's like. So if I'm not going to move, I can not move to Brooklyn instead of not move to Manhattan. Idiot. Get your fucking shit together and move if you want. So that's it, everybody. Please follow Johnny Pemberton on Twitter. I forgot what his Twitter thing is. Just look it up. Follow me on Twitter at ARISHAFFIR. That's Ari Shaffir. You guys know how to spell my name. Follow me on Twitter for some jokes and then for endless promotion about stand-up stuff that's coming up in my storyteller shows. And that's it. All right. Welcome, Johnny Pemberton, you guys. Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank, episode 66. Shitbag with Johnny Pemberton. Take it away, Prime Minister Pete Nice.
Pow. Candelabra. Castle Rock. Nathan Fillion.
Did they teach you anywhere how to do those things?
No,
Like warming up your mouth or anything?
I make them up.
Candelabra. That sounded like an official one.
Candelabra. Because you get the...
Yeah, so you can tell if it pops.
yeah, candelabra.
Yeah,
Paparazzi. Bluetooth.
It's happening good.
Yeah.
Don't they put the mail in there?
Yeah, got the
I
mail?
don't think I've ever been here when the mail's come. I've slept in here before.
You have?
Yeah.
Slept out here?
No, in the back.
Really? Why?
Drunk.
Okay.
I was drunk and I slept in the back and I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I thought the alarm was on, the motion sensors.
How long have you been coming here?
The Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Since I moved out here, 13 years. I pretty much came right here.
You're like, are you as deep in here as anyone can be?
I'm pretty deep in here.
Who's the deepest, do you think?
Right now?
Yeah.
People that are still around, I'm up there.
Who's your competition?
Duncan was deep for a while, but he doesn't really come around anymore.
No, he doesn't, yeah.
Duncan and I started
Duncan
together.
worked here.
What?
Duncan worked here.
Duncan trained me on the phones.
Yeah.
And then he became a talent coordinator.
Right.
And then I started doing the cover booth. We both did the phones too. And then I worked as his assistant for a while. And that drove a nice wedge in our friendship.
You did?
Because he had to work. He had to do this shitty job answering phones and talking to Mitzi.
Right.
And she's a boss. She's one of those crazy bosses who just demands things.
Yeah.
But as his assistant, I didn't have any work until he got the lineups from her. And then I had to like type them up or something.
Jeez.
So in the meantime, I would play like video games.
Oh, wow.
And I brought in video game systems. And I go to the phone room. Me and Caparola would play video games. And then he would come down and be like, no, this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. And I'm like, why? There's nothing to do. And he was just so upset at the idea that he had to do work.
Yeah.
And that I could not. That it was like, he couldn't know. He
That's
goes, do some filing or something. I'm like, what filing? What are you talking about?
Wow.
I forgot about that. He was so mad. So he trained me on, this is what you're going to use?
No, I have the same thing.
I'm with Johnny Pemberton. I recorded the intros like later, so
okay.
I'll already have said your name, I guess.
Got it. Johnny Pemberton's here, yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
I'm pretty deep in here. I used to drive Mitzi around.
Okay.
So at some point she started trusting me to drive her in on Saturday and Sunday nights.
Think.
You're not going to anymore then.
Why? Just she's like she's too old, right?
She's too old now.
She
just won't come in. She came in for the 40th anniversary, and a lot of people was like, "That's it. That's the last time she'll be here."
She's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's old and she lived.
Like what?
She lived. Let's just say that. She
right, but she lives far away too, right?
No.
No.
She lives
in the basement.
Up on Doheny.
Great.
No, not that far at all.
Right.
Her world for a while was just between here and Doheny. That's like she didn't understand anything else that was happening.
Wow.
She had to go to Dominica once for some treatments.
Dominican
Republic.
Yeah.
And she was going there with the accountant from here. And the story it's always like they were like, "Oh, we're going to be delayed for about 35 minutes," and that turns into like an hour. Just when you're on the time. And she goes, "Tell him to go already." And he's like, "Oh yeah." And she goes, "No, go up there and tell him to go." And he had to be like, "Oh no, Mitzi, nobody cares about you here on the plane."
Oh, on the airplane.
Yeah, like
Jesus
nobody knows
Christ.
that you're a powerful woman here. It's just in your house
matter.
and the Comedy Store. You can't hold spots away from the pilot.
Yeah. That's funny, because her worldview is so small, huh?
Yeah.
At least
like everyone comes to her needing something. That's weird.
But now it's Pauly, right?
Sort of.
Oh.
Tommy does the lineups. Pauly has some sort of control. And they try to go by a lot of what she would have done.
But that's one of those weird things. You just can't do that. You can't, make up someone else's mind.
Also, stuff changes. Like, for a while, they used to have this rule, no recording in here.
Right.
And they said, well, what if you need to make a tape for, an agent or something? And her rule was, they can come in. That way they'll see you. They'll also see
a bunch of other people.
Yeah. But then nowadays, that's just not doable. They're just like, make a fucking video and upload it, and I can see it. I'm not coming in there at fucking 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. I have shit to do.
Right.
They're just not coming in. And so that idea is done now. They used to have to deal with, you can't write anywhere in there. You can't write in a notebook.
I love that idea. That's such a stupid idea.
What?
The idea that you can... you can write something down and steal it.
Yeah, steal it.
Yeah.
And I was writing something.
It's like Amish being scared of mirrors or something. You know, it's like, he stole my words by writing them down.
But sometimes you want to sit in the... in open mic days, I don't know if you do this, but I would sit in before your turn to go on, you sit in the back and you just sort of write what you're going to do.
Well, I remember the first time I came here, when I was coming here, once a month at the most, at the at the least, like doing the shows in the belly room,
Yeah.
I will be working on my set in the back of the room before I go up. There's like 5 or 10 more before me.
Yeah.
And someone was like, some older dude was like commenting on me writing. I was like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, working on my set. What do you mean? He's like, you can't be doing that material, stealing material. I'm like, well, why would I fucking steal someone's material?
Like that thought was foreign.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm taking it. I need to. Oh.
I was doing it the other day. I was writing, but it had been a long time because we always had that rule. Like it was just a given. Like you cannot do it. That's how people steal material, and you don't even question that information.
That's such like a fascist or something.
Yeah.
It's such an old way of thinking.
It's also so antiquated, but it's just stuck as a rule. They're like, you can't steal material. I'm like, a way easier way to steal material is to turn my phone on to record,
right,
and keep that in my pocket.
Or you could just remember it.
Yeah, there's that too.
You could just
listen
I'm
real
going to
hard.
remember this.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my brain.
I recorded one of Freddie Soto, this comic. He's dead now, but I recorded one of his sets once. I was in the booth, and I recorded it on my tape recorder with the full tape that you had to turn over and stuff. And just because he was so good, and I wanted to study it later and figure out what he was doing and the way he used his voice up and down. But I was so scared if I got caught with that video, with that camera on, that audio recorder on, that I'd be ostracized.
Wow.
As a thief forever. And I was like, I just want to study what you do.
People think shit's so magical.
Yeah.
It's like it's magic. It has there's no basis in anything tangible.
Hard work, just do it a bunch.
Yeah. Like the idea that you can do some sort of magic by.
You get a lot of young people asking you that, what's the secret to stand up?
I guess so. Not so much about stand up, but people asking me.
What?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people who do that thing where they I can't think what you call it, but when someone they try to crack you. They're like, okay, so when did you get started? So okay. So when did you get an agent? How'd that happen? They're trying to look behind you.
See if you did it the right way, the wrong way.
How did this happen? How'd you? Okay. Like if you paid your dues, or if you.
Oh right. So if you said oh my uncle was a director and he just got me an agent when I moved out here. My mom called him and he got me an agent. They're like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
That it makes people happier about themselves.
I think so. Yeah, but there's always that thing that people do. They gauge. They're trying to put themselves where they are in relation to you.
Why is hard work to get to the same spot more revered than having it easy to get to the same spot? If the final result is you're at the same spot.
Yeah. I don't think that's that often
you don't think that's
the case. I think usually people who get written off as having a person who's helped them, like nepotists, who've have been the result of nepotism. But who've had an in
Meg Ryan, not Meg Ryan. Who's the girl, the bubbly girl from
every other girl. Every other girl has a.
But she had a stepdaughter, and the stepdaughter was in that. She was married to the Black Keys guy. Her daughter.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know about that stuff that well, but
yeah, I mean,
I'm sure someone's dad was this or for that, but it's one of those things where I think
she was on Laugh-In. Who was the girl on Laugh-In?
Oh, Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn, yeah. Her daughter,
Kate Hudson.
Yes,
right.
And people accuse her, but then at a certain point, you're just Kate Hudson,
right?
And nobody gives a fuck where you started and how you started.
Well, it's also the thing where if you grow up around that kind of thing, it's just the amount of time you've spent doing it.
Yeah,
and you can't change who you are. And so if you've grown up in Hollywood, then you just have a natural advantage because you've met
these people. You know how it works.
You're surrounded by it. If you're whatever you're surrounded by, you're going to be better at.
That's the thing people don't quite know too. They're like, well, it's all hard work. And what do you think hard work is? Because what it really is, a lot is about who you know.
Yeah.
And people you know and doing stuff and booking you in.
And it's also about time spent. It's about the amount of time, because you get to know someone. If you see someone every day for 20 seconds. You will get to know them.
Yeah.
It'll happen because...
You're a male guy.
Yeah, it'll happen. You can't not happen. So just, if you're growing up in Hollywood, and you'll get to know those people no matter what.
Wasn't the guy from Matrix like that? Wasn't he a Hollywood baby?
Which guy? Keanu?
Yeah. Oh, no, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage was... Well, he's a Coppola.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of them.
But at some point, it's no one talks about it anymore.
Right.
Because
you've made your own thing. Yeah. I mean, I used to get pissed off about that because I had no. When I came here, I had no fucking clue about anything. I didn't know anybody. Knew nothing at all. I didn't even think you could even do it for a living. I thought you had to be invited. I thought you had to be someone had to ask you to be an actor.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
no
I
one's
just didn't
helping
think it's
you at all.
impossible. Not at all. Yeah.
And how'd you figure it out? You could actually
I don't know. Just
by doing it.
I started doing it, and I like doing it. So it's like something where I think if you like doing something, it's easy to do it all the time.
There's a lot of people have the same story of going to auditions, and when they say slate, which means like tell your name,
Yeah, right.
and pretty much whatever else you have to tell,
Right.
like if you're your agent or whatever, depending
Yeah.
on the audition. But no one knows what that is. So I've heard like 20 people have the same story. They say slate, and you're too embarrassed to say what does that mean.
Oh wow.
So you just like wing it, and like, that becomes some sort of something near say your name, but it's
Yeah.
like slate. You're like, hi everybody, I'm really excited to be here. I'm gonna nail it. Like, oh no!
I wish I had done something like that.
Just tell your name.
I think at some point, some nice casting director actually told me, like, oh, that means, because it was, my eyes were telling her that I had no fucking clue.
No clue. And you have such a young-looking face too.
Yeah. So I think she saved me or something.
Oh, is that why you get shit for it sometimes too? Because you look
Yeah,
so
well,
young that people are like, how are you working?
Yeah, people. I think it angers people because they think that I haven't spent a lot of time doing it, or haven't worked very hard, or haven't
I don't know why that's revered. Like the Lee Iacocca model of coming out from like
Yeah.
immigrants and making your own fortune
Yeah.
is better than the Donald Trump model of like having a fortune and building it higher.
Well, but I feel like I've done the Lee Iacocca.
You probably have, but why is
Yeah.
that revered more?
It's because it's there's no like mysticism in it. There's no like it makes it because it seems possible that anyone can.
Right,
'Cause
right.
it's like a thing. It takes away. Yeah, it takes away the.
That's why people get behind Obama, huh? A little
I
bit.
guess so.
He feels like an everyman to
Yeah,
me.
he's just goddamn beautiful.
And he's beautiful.
He is a beautiful man. Beautiful man. I could listen to him talk about anything. I could listen to him read a box of ingredients. Man.
He's a really good speaker, right?
God, I don't really care for his politics that much, but Jesus
I don't
Christ.
really know them. I sort of stay out of politics.
Yeah,
People
Well, it
bitch about him
doesn't-
so much.
it doesn't matter because it's all the same.
I finally realized that I was in Arizona doing Tempe. It was like
Right.
a few years ago, right when he was announcing the Obamacare. So I guess it was like 3 years ago. Oh, by the way, as loud as that gets, you can still hear it fine in here.
I know. I figured. I just can't hear him.
Oh, you can't hear it. Yeah.
That was
and
a
I remember
bus.
these people picketing against Obamacare, whatever it was. Like 80 or 100 people, like in a rally against it.
Right.
But I remember thinking, like, for a long time, like, our number one concern as a country is that how can we not insure everyone?
Yeah.
And I don't care how you end up doing that, but it just seems sort of shitty that someone can, like, have heart disease and say, I can't afford to go to the hospital
Yeah.
to get this better.
It is shitty.
Yeah, like
It's
in other
fairly
countries
shitty.
they have that. It just seems like, shouldn't we have that?
Yeah. Well, we do now.
Yeah.
I guess it's gonna take forever though.
But they were picketing against it, and I was like, how can you picket against this? And then I realized, like way later, like, it didn't make any sense. But then I thought, but they must have some point. They're not just completely misled.
Yeah.
And then I remember paying for something, and my insurance, SAG insurance, now only pays for 90% of stuff instead of 100% of stuff.
I think I found that out recently myself. Yeah.
And I was like, why? And they said Obamacare, and I was like, motherfucker. Well, there's the other end of it.
Yep.
I'm paying more. There's
Yeah.
the other shoe. And I was like, all right, it's still sort of worth it depending on how much, but fuck.
I didn't realize that. I don't know. That insurance stuff just kills me because it's
I don't
so.
understand it at all.
Ugh, I hate it.
I had a surgery, and I was always under the assumption that, like, when you have insurance, it pays for everything.
Yeah, it doesn't. No.
No, I still have to pay like $500 to
You
$1,000.
do. You have to pay for a lot, and it's weird. The whole insurance model has upset healthcare a lot in the last 50 years or so because it's changed the way that the hospitals and doctors have to operate because they're having what they do dictated by the insurance companies, where it used to be the doctors are the ones in charge, and then it becomes this thing where you have this administration, you have a third party in there. So basically what they've done is they've separated, they've driven a wedge between doctors and patients, so they've made it harder. They basically become a middleman. It's the same sort of thing where, if you're a drug dealer, you don't want the person who you're selling drugs to know where you get your drugs from.
Right.
That's how you make your money. You want to keep that
Yeah, take
connection
the source
loose.
out. So explain that fully.
Well, it's the same with insurance. Is where by the insurance not letting you to have access to the doctor, by the
got so loud here so many times in a row.
by the doctor not being able to deal with the patient a one-on-one level with them. the insurance company becomes the middleman, and doctors traditionally are pretty forgiving as far as costs go.
Because they see it's a person struggling.
Yeah, it's a personal thing. Like my dad's a doctor.
Oh, really?
And he's done surgeries for a bag of potatoes. He's done stuff. We've literally been paid
a bag of potatoes.
Yeah, like I think a bushel of something. He's been paid in weird things before because it's like that's what someone can afford to pay.
Is your dad Doc Hollywood?
He's not. I mean, most doctors are that way because most doctors. I mean, you.
Yeah, when they used to make house calls and stuff, and they were like
house calls, and you sign a Hippocratic oath, and all these things, and most doctors are like they're either scientists or they're humanitarians or like a combination of the both, and so the last thing they want. I mean, most doctors are. There's a lot of them who are just trying to rake in the dough, but at the same time, they're also probably doing stuff that's not so life important.
What do you mean?
It's probably like plastic surgery or something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just for the cash.
Yeah, but for the most part,
physicians, I guess.
I mean, there's definitely like two schools of it, but certain hospitals are. Yeah, they're non-for-profit hospitals, so they're trying. That's always been a thing where, if you're dealing with your doctor on 101, you pay what you can.
Yeah, what was I just going to say?
That hasn't been that way in a long time, though. I mean,
it's not.
Yeah, because things are just so the scale of things has changed.
Yeah, I feel like too. It's like if you're getting billed by your insurance company. If I'm the doctor and they're like, "Well, we'll charge them," and then how much do you want to charge us? They're like, "It's $100 for the procedure." They're like, it's you. It's a giant corporation.
Exactly.
Make it $150.
Yeah, because the insurance company is going to charge. They're getting raped by the insurance company, so they have to rate back. So it's just like that. We got is that a helicopter?
Here's the thing. I had one with Joey Diaz. We did a podcast, and there was a leaf blower.
Oh, God.
Like, right, the first thing I was raking the cement. You know those guys that rake leaves right on the cement. So it was like, and then the leaf blower started, and we were yelling at each other to hear, and we were probably this close on his porch. And I was like, all right, we got to go. It's just too loud. But then listen to it later.
It sounds fine.
You can just hear it in the way back.
Right.
Like you were aware it's going on.
These are nice and directional.
Yeah. I like that about these.
Microphones.
Go get them. So you've seen a lot of doctors, I guess, right?
Yeah, a lot of doctors. Doctors.
What's wrong with your failing body?
Well, I used to have colitis. I had colitis. Ulcerative colitis, which is a disease of the colon, which is your large bowel. And it's a inflammatory disease.
Is that IBS?
Yeah, it's IBS is irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay.
Which is most of the time irritable bowel syndrome is caused by either you're stressed or crazy.
It's mental.
Or an allergy, for the most part.
I dated a girl who had irritable bowel syndrome.
I mean, irritable bowel syndrome is really common, but IBD, which is inflammatory bowel disease, is much different. And I hate a lot of times people will be like, "Oh, I totally get you. I have IBS." I'm like, "No, you don't, because you have IBS. You have that's like telling me you have you had chickenpox once, and you're trying to." I don't know, compare yourself to my scarlet fever or something. I don't know.
I remember.
That's a good analogy.
Do you know who Brett Leake is, the comedian?
Who?
Brett Leake.
I don't think so.
He was older. When I started, I did a couple of guest spots for him. I worked with MC Week for him in DC. But he had muscular dystrophy.
Right.
And it's degenerative disease.
Yeah, it's bad.
It would get worse and worse.
It's really bad.
And he would come out. He's really funny. He did Tonight Show a bunch of times, but nobody knows him. But
is it Josh Blue? He has muscular dystrophy too, or no?
Does he really? On top of fucking cerebral palsy?
Okay, see, I confused the two.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like,
oh, God.
No.
It's like, dude, what are you doing wrong? God hates you. What is it?
Right.
Well, my parents are Mormon. Well, that's it.
Right.
No, so it just gets worse and worse. He would have to come out to the stage, and it was like his arm would be all spazzled over, and he would grab the mic stand and sit down, and he would talk about it for like 2 or 3 minutes because you just noticed him.
You have to
slowly walk to the middle of the stage. I would have to do time while he's walking out.
Right.
It would take so long and be awkward.
Wow.
So we'd do a few minutes, and then you'd forget. And I really liked that he would then just stop doing it for about 30 minutes. Wouldn't just do regular observational comedy.
Right.
But he had this joke about saying I have muscular dystrophy, and people are like, oh, MS, yeah. And he goes, dystrophy, duh, not S.
Yeah.
So you don't have IBS.
No, I don't have IBS. No. IBD.
And IBD is not caused by stress or any sort of mental.
Well, I mean, everything in your bowels everything's linked. Like people think that there's this thing where your body functions differently from your brain, but it's all the same. I got a doctor tell me that if you're relaxed, your bowels relax, which is absolutely true because the peristalsis and other functions of your bowel are informed by your how you feel.
Really?
So if you're super stressed out and
by the way, I had a girl tell me the same thing about anal.
Really?
That if you're relaxed, the bowel will relax, but when you're tensed up,
it's true.
Then it'll be tenser and it'll be harder to fuck.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's absolutely true. So, yeah, but there's definitely it ties in, but to some extent, you can't have complete mental control over that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had colitis, which is it's ulcers inside the walls of your large bowel. It's like inflammation, so it's inflamed. Yeah, it really doesn't do its job. It can't do its job because it's just
say that again.
It's inflamed. It's
okay. Inside your bowels.
Yeah.
Where's your bowels?
Bowels?
Yeah.
It's like lower abdomen.
Okay, and that's just the shit pot. That's where your shit stores.
Well, your colon is your rectum is part of your colon.
Oh, there's rectum also.
So your rectum is like the last place where the shit is before you
collects.
Before it collects in your rectum.
Okay.
And then it passes through your anus into the wherever you're choosing to deposit it. Well, your colon is
friend's lawn.
Yeah. Your colon basically just is it draws water out of your out of the stool, and I think it absorbs some vitamins and stuff.
Out of it?
Yeah, it does some stuff like that. But it's essentially I don't have a colon anymore because I had it removed.
You had your whole colon removed?
Yeah, had it removed because how it works is if you have colitis or any type of bowel disease like that just doesn't respond to treatment. It just keeps staying inflamed. Every year you have it, your incidence for getting colon cancer just triples because the inflammation causes cell dysplasia, which is can cause cancer, and cancer is really bad. I mean, colon cancer is a good cancer to get because it's easy to treat, but at the same time, people die of colon cancer all the goddamn time
because you don't treat it.
Yeah, because they're so this fucking macho or whatever that they don't want. Oh, no one's touching my ass. No one's fucking. I'm not gay. I'm not a fucking fag. No one's touching my ass.
The asshole has become the sign of homosexuality.
I know, it's
in
ridiculous.
any way.
So you have
men are scared to even wash their ass with soap.
So they will die of colon cancer before anyone could possibly confuse them with being a faggotry. Yeah. But that's why you have it. That's why I had it taken out because it's like I had it for about 10 years.
So what was going on? What was happening?
Well,
when you're in fourth grade, you had no problems.
No, I'm trying to think I think it was fourth grade when I first had I think it was fourth grade when I first started having problems.
So in third grade, no symptoms, happy-go-lucky kid.
Yeah.
Playing. What'd you look like in third grade? Like a first grader? Did you look young then?
I don't remember, man. I mean, I probably look like...
You look the same age you do right now?
Probably.
Like a 24-year-old?
Yeah. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. I think I'm going to sneeze. See? This is the worst. Oh, it's at the door.
It's in between range?
It's at the door. Now I'm just like in that weird limbo of no
I try
sneeze.
to breathe in lightly to catch a little more impurities in the nose hairs.
Right.
And then let that tickle. And
it's gone. I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know. I think I started having blood in my stool. I'm going to the bathroom a lot. That's blood in your stool is a pretty good sign of something's not working right.
Yeah.
And and then I went and saw a doctor and stuff. They do a bunch of tests. They do like colonoscopy. You ever had a colonoscopy before?
What's a colonoscopy?
It's where they put a scope in your ass, in your anus, and in your colon to look at your colon to see if you have any polyps or anything like that.
I don't think I had. I had this opposite problem where I didn't want to shit ever.
Right.
So I just
you mean
hold
called constipation?
No, I could shit. I felt embarrassed about it, or I just was too lazy to get to it.
To shitting?
So I just held it in at all times.
Wow, that's bad, man. That's really bad.
It would go like a week without shitting.
What?
But like every week.
How long? You're not doing that anymore, are you?
I still shit infrequently. I train my body to not shit that much, so I shit infrequently. For a while,
you should shit more, man. It's
like
good
every
for you.
couple days.
Wow.
Every 2 to 3 days.
I can't imagine that. I can't even fucking imagine.
Yeah, all my friends it's like,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'll go a lot. Should I tell
But
these
they had to
people?
reach up in there. Oh, yeah.
I typically use the bathroom. Hey,
Very
I
nice.
use the bathroom about maybe 5 times a day at least. Yeah.
I love these tour buses. That's a cheap tour bus.
I think this is like a South American one.
Starline. Yeah, they're all.
I think this is a.
They're all Latino people.
Yeah, they are.
I like that
They're
one.
loving it.
Is that tour going well? Is it fun?
Hello, TV.
But now it's not.
TV.
TV.
TV. Excuse me, TV.
Oh, are they telling them that these might be
I don't know, probably.
celebrities?
They should, right? They should say
Yeah,
it.
why not? There's 2 people there.
Yeah.
Just call them celebrities.
Oh, we don't know. I'm wearing sunglasses. It's daytime.
It's you guys might remember that guy as Screech, and the other man
yeah.
is
Screech.
whatever. The Mexicans won't know.
They won't know.
That was a very Latino tour
It
group.
was.
Couple blacks, but
I
very
didn't see, I
brown
didn't see
to
that.
darker.
I just saw the Latinos.
That's
the
because you
Latinos.
refuse to see black people. They're all here in America. They're part of us now.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so third
Right.
grade you're fine. Then 4th grade.
Yeah, well, you start getting sick, and
Stools in your blood?
blood is in my stool.
How? That'd be way worse. We have to take a blood
I got
sample.
Munchausen syndrome.
What is that?
I think it's Munchausen. I think it's when mothers like make their kids sick because they get like
They want to take care of them?
They get off on the attention from doctors, or when people make themselves sick, because they want to have the doctors. It's sort of like a part of hypochondria, I think.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, it's not. I don't know. I just know. I think it is. Isn't that a cool word though? Munchausen,
yeah.
I think that might be right, but I could be wrong.
That and Asperger's are 2 of the best
Right.
diseases to have, name-wise.
But I started getting sick, and then started taking like,
Munchausen's.
different weird drugs and stuff. I was on prednisone for a while, which is a steroid.
What's
You must be taking steroids because your knee, right?
No.
They don't give you steroids? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Well,
Oh, they shoot you some. They shoot in there
Okay.
sometimes, yeah.
I was taking oral steroids, and that stuff makes your face blow up like a balloon. I looked like a chipmunk in 5th grade. For a long time, I looked like a total chipmunk.
You were what?
I looked like a chipmunk because of all the prednisone I was taking.
What do you mean you look like a chipmunk?
My face was swollen round because prednisone makes you retain a lot of water, like a lot.
Really?
Like I was a round little chipmunk boy.
I'm going to try to get somebody to Photoshop you as a chipmunk for this podcast.
I think I have a picture of me.
As a chipmunk?
Yeah, and it's weird because prednisone, it's a steroid,
Yeah.
and it makes you like you're a badass. Like I didn't need to sleep that much, and I was so involved in all kinds of stuff at school in 5th grade. I was
What do you mean, active like sports?
No, not sports, but I was the president of the student council.
Because of steroids?
Uh-huh.
Like you were like, let's do this.
And it's not aggressive so much as it is like you're just tireless. And I mean, steroids they're awesome. They're a
Yeah,
real
that's
thing.
what my fighter friends have explained to me.
The best.
Like steroids don't make you stronger. They just, if you get injured, you recover faster. So you can get back to your normal routine.
Right, but they also make you feel great. They make your people act like steroids are just for the body. It's just as much for the brain.
Like bath salts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really just a great.
They just make you they make you feel like you are undefeatable. You feel very it feels very good.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long were you on those?
Like 6 months probably.
Oh, and it didn't make you any bigger at all?
No, because it's not
Tough,
that type
you're
of
growing.
steroid. It's not an anabolic steroid. I think it's a different type of thing. I don't really know, but I know it's not the same as the kind of steroids you shoot up if you're lifting.
Okay.
And also, I wasn't lifting weights or anything, so.
I can't imagine you're big.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh, that's what's going to happen to you when you become really famous and go crazy.
What?
I already know now.
I can't. What?
You're going to be really into...
I'm going to pull a Carrot Top.
You're going to blow a Carrot Top, or Chappelle's into that now, too.
Chappelle's into that now?
So sad.
Oh, wow.
Dude, it's so sad.
But it's like a really common thing. Why do comics do that? So many comedians...
I think that's what it is. I think they realize, I've achieved these high levels. Carrot Top has, whatever you want to say about him. I mean,
No, he
he's
definitely
made
has.
millions of dollars and sold out plenty of places.
Right.
Chappelle definitely has.
Yeah.
At some point, you realize, none of this gets me, literally gets me anywhere.
Right.
I just have gotten more fans.
Right.
Because I'm always filled with this feeling of, I got to get to somewhere in my career.
Yeah.
But there is no place where you get to where you're like, cool, I got there, I'm good.
Right. You can't because you're always thinking about the next thing.
And so then once you realize that, you're like, I'm just a human and I'm going to die at some point soon.
So you start to get this...
Work on your body.
Yeah. I mean, it's happened. So many comedians I see are like, they're just...
Who was the first guy? It was, what's his name?
Joe Piscopo.
Joe Piscopo, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, why is he shredded now? And not funny at all.
It's because he's... It's like I think it's also a control thing.
What do you mean? You have control over your body?
Yeah, you're exercising control over your body because it's the last sort of thing that is difficult to control. It takes effort. It takes genuine effort to do that. And so you spend all this time doing that, and it's I don't know, it's got to be something about control in there.
Yeah, maybe.
I think because comedians tend to be kind of control freaks in a way, you know? A lot of them tend to be.
It's just us on stage usually, so you want everything done your way.
Right, or it's like you're doing comedy because some other part of your life is out of your control, so
chicks usually with guys.
Chicks or... In my case, I feel like my bowels, that's a big part of it. That's what made me... I think
Munchausen's, by the way, is exactly what you said it was.
Okay, it is.
It's feigning illness.
Yep, to seek attention.
Psychiatric factitious...
Ooh.
Factitious, not fictitious. Factitious disorder wherein those affected feign disease, illness, or psychological trauma to draw attention or sympathy to themselves.
There you go. Yeah, because I know...
hospital addiction syndrome.
Mothers would, like, take feces and inject into their kids. Do, like, weird shit. Make their kids sick. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's when you said feces in your blood.
Stool in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so then fourth grade comes, you're shitting blood for a while.
Right.
Do you immediately report that to your parents?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
You're like, hey...
I mean, no, they're that little. When you're that little, it's like, you know, I think you tell my parents everything.
Okay.
So... Yeah, I saw doctors and stuff, and I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, and took a bunch of different medicines for a long time.
Steroids being one of them.
Steroids for a little bit, but the steroids work, but you can't stand steroids for a long time because it's really bad. Steroids, they have a lot of negative effects. Like they weaken your tissue, I think. They can... I have some weird shit with it. I think they do something because it's like, oh yeah, this is what it is. It's because they build stuff up so much that they make other things like stop working, because it's the same thing. You know how your muscles atrophy in space?
Why? Because they don't work at all?
Because there's no gravity.
So they don't need to work.
Yeah. So they
like
atrophy.
When you're shooting so much steroids in your system, the part of you that's making the actual steroids that you need, they're like, oh, we're good. We
right.
Shut
so
up.
There's things that change. So you can't be on them long term. Otherwise, you'll have... it can have bad effects on all kinds of systemic effects, I think.
Systemic's a good word.
What's that? It is a good word.
It's a good word. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good word. But so I took that, and there's all kinds of different drugs. There's also a lot of taking of enemas.
Enemas?
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
When I did the not shitting stuff, that was what they had to do.
That's what always kills me, is that I found out about that stuff later on in life. I'm like, I can't imagine the sexualization of something the worst thing ever, like an enema. like how that's like, at a sex store you can get an enema.
That's a sex toy.
You know, people use that. People use enemas to clean out their ass for anal sex.
Yeah, but that's not for the toy. That's like preparation.
I know, but it's part of the thing. It's part of the whole...
But they're not getting turned on by it, are they?
I think people are, definitely.
It's like showering before you fuck.
Yeah, but the enema is like it's a thing. It's a unique kind of weird thing.
That's the worst thing about if you ever go to a porn shoot.
No.
I've been invited to one before. I was like,
right.
yeah, I'm definitely going to go to that.
Yeah.
Like, just to see. And it was at some house. It was like a long form porn where they had a little bit of a plot.
Right.
And in the bath, they rent out somebody's house. It's all the way in the hills, like the beautiful houses. And they probably give them like 20 grand, like just get out of here for the day.
Just fuck all over the place.
Fuck all everywhere.
But they had to do enemas before stuff.
The bathrooms, they're filled with like the trash cans, douches, and enemas.
Oh, God. Yeah. Enemas are horrible. The worst.
Yeah, I had to take it where my mom made me sit there because she wouldn't believe that I would take it. So we sat there.
What'd you take it for?
I wouldn't shit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
I would never shit.
Yeah.
So the doctor was like, he reached up and found, he was like, there's fucking 2 months of shit up here. He's like, I can't even get in.
Wow.
But yeah, she made me have an enema. She made me shoot. It's well, you tell them what it is.
Well, it's a little like it's a little syringe, like sort of thing that doesn't have a sharp. I'm trying to get
more like a funnel.
It's
almost
like a little juice squeezer kind of thing. It looks like something like
it looks like it looks like to me, like you know the ketchup dispensers at like a pizzeria.
Totally.
The red and the yellow for
except
ketchup.
with a longer tube.
Yeah.
And it's lubricated, and you insert it into your anus.
Lubricated?
It should be.
I don't remember the lubrication.
Well, I think it probably is. You don't notice it because it's...
My mom might have done it before she gave it to me.
Maybe. It's usually they're lubricated, and you put it in there, and it... There's different kinds of enemas. There's enemas to do what you were using, which is to get your bowels cleaned out.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of them that have medicine in them,
Oh.
Like I used to take kind of had steroids in them, so you'd be like a localized dose of steroids. So yeah, I would take those like almost every day or every other day for a long time. God, that's so creepy. Ugh. I haven't thought about that in so long, but that was a dark time.
I remember it was like I think it was the 10-year anniversary of Elvis Presley's death.
Right.
Or maybe he
did some enemas for that?
I think I remember hearing that on the radio while I had my shirt on, I was bent over, like kneeled over with my ass as high up in the air as I could have it.
Yeah.
But still on my knees. And you had to shoot it in there, and it acts as like Drano.
Yeah.
It just tears everything up, and then but you got to hold it in there, let the Drano work.
You do. It's hard to hold it in, though.
Yeah. Mom's like, hold it. I'm like, I got to shit. My mom's like, hold it longer.
Hold it, yeah.
To let it break up more, and I had to like hold it longer and longer. And then when it was like, Mom, I just can't, I can't. She's like, okay, now you can go.
And did you go?
And I went and just unloaded.
So it was like months of shit.
Just months, just pouring out.
Did you have some sort of incredible elation after that? You had to feel good. It has to feel really good.
I don't remember that feeling.
Oh
All I remember
God.
was hearing on the radio about Elvis, some people thinking he was still alive.
You must have been like tripping balls after that.
I think I probably felt way lighter.
Yo, lighter. I have moments now where I will go to the bathroom and I feel like I've been released of poison. Like I've just got this poison out of me, and I'm like a little high for about 20, 30 minutes. It feels so good.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like I've had poison inside of me, and I've gotten this poison out, and it feels so good to be relieved of the poison.
It does feel nice to take a shit sometimes.
Oh, I mean, it's not nice. It's like, it's godly.
My uncle told me that. I remember he was like, no, you got to have a time of day that you shit every day. Like every day, it's
Really?
your shit time. Like, I do after lunch. I shit every day.
It's like a construction
every
worker?
day at the same time. He goes, yeah, that's called getting regular.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That sounds so weird.
I can't imagine that. I shit all the god. Well, yeah, my thing is totally different. So I poop.
So
a lot.
yeah, what do you have?
What do you mean?
So you took these enemas.
Oh yeah, well, I'm just saying like I would take all kinds of stuff all for a long time.
Oh, also random hot chicks just walk by here.
Yeah, I mean this is
Nice.
it's random.
Yeah.
This is the sun. We're on the Sunset Strip.
I just like watching, especially when it's sunny. They're all
The
just so friendly
Sunset
and sunny.
Strip. Laughing with a pink cell phone case. Hope she falls in a manhole.
Yeah. Do you ever just hate people? Just be like, I don't know what it is. I just don't like you at all.
I don't like hate them. I just sort of feel like
You seem entitled.
I just feel like that she will probably be the first to die if ever there's like an extinction event.
Right.
That kind of thing. Like she'll be the one who doesn't believe that's real fire or something like that.
That's how I feel about small dogs.
Oh, right.
Like those are the type of dogs that get eaten by the other dogs in the apocalypse. When only like German Shepherds are running around.
Right.
Like pugs, they get taken
They're
really
done.
quickly.
They're going to be really tasty too.
Yeah. So you had this shitty. I'm trying to get back to all this. So you had
Right.
this shitty blood. They made you see a doctor.
Well, yeah, I would see. This is like years. This is from.
They
I was
diagnosed you?
10 years old when I first got diagnosed, and
Ugh.
so it was all this stuff. Take medicine.
Just so you wouldn't have stool in your blood.
Well, no, I mean, colitis is you have cramping.
Okay.
The biggest part of it is urgency. So sometimes it's like you have about 10 seconds to find a bathroom,
Oh no.
or you're gonna
Or you
shit
shit your pants?
Yeah,
It's like constant worst case diarrhea.
yeah, constantly.
Whoa.
I mean, it goes up and down. This thing's called flare ups, which means it's like a the bad moon is out.
I have
kind of
memorized.
thing.
I'm familiar with the term flare-ups. Yeah.
Right. And so when you're in a flare-up period, it's bad, and it's really bad, and you're cramping all the time, and just a lot of bad stuff. But I mean, it's weird. Sometimes you can feel good for like 6 months or more, and it's almost like a remission.
And okay.
But
During those times of remission, almost remission, do you start feeling like, I think I'm good? Like I don't have it anymore.
I think once or twice I did think that, yeah.
But by now you know.
Yeah, it always comes back. But yeah, I would take all different types of drugs.
Was that frustrating when it would come back? You're like, oh,
Super
I guess it's
frustrating.
not gone.
I mean, it's beyond frustrating. It's just like the worst.
You cold?
What's that?
You cold?
No, I just like.
Okay.
I don't know. Not cold. Yeah, it just sucks because it just sucks. It's really bad because you have no control over your bowels, and like that's such a thing that. And for one thing, if you're an adolescent, which are already super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And everything's weird, and you're embarrassed about everything. The most embarrassing thing is the thing you don't have any control over.
Yeah.
So it's like it was this weird thing where I was super embarrassed, but I didn't tell. No one knew about it. I didn't tell anyone about it.
Did you shit your pants a lot?
No, not really. I was really good at. When I say 10 seconds, it's not like a countdown. It's more just like sometimes it becomes where you can think about nothing else but not going to the bathroom right now.
Oh, so it just feels super urgent, but it won't have to come out, but it feels like it does?
It depends. I have had times when it had to come out. And it's like, but a lot of times it's because, I don't know, there's so many different variables.
Yeah.
It's like, what you ate, or you not listening to your body and not going to the bathroom earlier when you could have, or there's all kinds of things. It's so subject to all these different things that it just...
Are there foods you just can't eat?
Not really, no. But it's been this way for so long that I don't even think about it, because food, I don't know. I think about it so much that I don't even realize I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm so cognizant of everything I eat that,
That you don't think about what you have to eat?
Yeah, I'm like a soldier who's had like 16 tours. I just certain things just don't. I don't even think don't faze me anymore. Or the idea that something will cause a problem. I'm just like, well, it's gonna be bad. Well, so what?
Right.
I can deal with it. Like, I like hot wings, but
I have this theory that when you're children, you just don't really know the bad things in your life.
Yeah.
And adults feel so bad for you, but you're like, I'm a kid. It's just different now.
Right.
We became religious, my family.
Right.
So in 3rd grade, I was allowed to have Big Macs, and they were delicious. And then in 4th grade, we don't eat Big Macs anymore.
Right.
And then I remember I want a Big Mac. Like, we don't have those. I'm like, no, I guess we don't have those.
Yeah.
But it's not like you don't bemoan yourself. You're like, I guess we eat other things.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I've never really known what it's like to have really well-functioning bowels.
Working bowels.
Yeah. So it's sort of just this thing where I was really good at hiding it too. Really good at not making it be a scene, or not making. Like, what did you do? I just was good at being. I mean, I guess I don't even know what I was doing, but I was good at not making it. No one ever noticed that Johnny's going to the bathroom a lot more than anyone else. There was never a thing where it was like. I never had anyone. I mean, I used to have really stinky farts, and I would fart a lot.
You would have really stinky farts?
Yeah, like one of my friends in high school, and it would be kind of like a joke, because I would.
That's sort of acceptable.
I have to leave the room and for a minute, because sometimes it would follow me back. I'm talking about heinous, like the ghost of a rapist. That
you
kind
gotta
of
pat
stink.
your ass a little bit. You gotta pull that area out and pat it a little bit to clear the air.
So a lot of times I would be
and then walk in.
Super embarrassed, to go to someone's house I didn't know, and to use their bathroom, and God forbid their toilet isn't operating in peak condition. That kind of thing. So. Yeah,
Did you shit at people's houses a lot?
Yeah, but
I would never do that. I would never shit at someone else's house.
I can't not shit. I can't.
Oh my God!
Always, so many people. It always kills me when someone's when someone says something like, "Oh, don't shit in my house, pal," or "Don't shit here." I'm like, "Fuck you! It's a fucking bathroom. I'm gonna shit." How dare you tell anyone?
Use this.
That's nothing gets pissing me off more than someone dictating how someone else can go to the bathroom or something like that.
That's also it's our bodily functions.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh God. Oh yeah. Does your shit not? I mean, it's the oldest thing. Does your shit not stink? It stinks the worst. That's probably why you don't want anyone to shit here, because your shit's impossibly dirty and foul. I hate that. That whole thing is just fucking kills me. It makes me want to just shit louder and more often. Just fucking.
It's
loud.
So embarrassing. Why is this moment? It's our bodily function.
It's so weird.
It's what everyone does, and we're all so embarrassed about it.
It is. It's
everything.
So weird. It's because it smells. I think it's because it's because it is bad. It's it's natural, because if you weren't embarrassed by it, if you liked it, then we'd all be getting sick all the time, because we'd be playing with shit and stuff. If you have to not like shit because it's bad. I
think it's all bodily. Even when you sneeze, you have to be like, "Excuse me," or if you get those white things at the end of your lips,
right?
You feel bad about it. But it's we all just get these things.
I don't get the white things on my lips.
You don't ever get those?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? You're better than us.
I don't think I do. I think it's like a mouth shape thing.
A mouth shape, really?
I think it might be.
Oh, maybe.
Or maybe I don't talk as much.
I thought it's when your mouth gets dry or something. Or
my mouth never gets dry. I always have something to drink. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I have them right now.
They're humongous. They're dripping down. They're like bulldogs.
Like a German Shepherd. Like a bulldog. Look like Turner and Hooch.
I love when you see a bulldog. You're like, oh, you're so cute. He comes by your leg, and you're like, that's disgusting what you've done to me now.
Yep.
I'm slobbered all over it's stained my
You've been
pants.
slobbed.
So what were the other symptoms that you would get before you had this surgery?
You have a lot of cramping.
Okay. Painful cramping?
Yeah. Really painful.
Would you have to like take a knee?
Sometimes when you go to the bathroom, it's like this thing where it's... You don't have to take a knee. I never had like that. I mean, there's a disease called Crohn's disease, which is
I've heard of that.
Much worse. People who have Crohn's, that's horrible. Because Crohn's is it's your small and large bowel. And you could have surgery to help it, but you can't remove your small intestine.
Okay.
Your colon you can be without. But your small intestine, you need that. I think you do. I'm pretty sure you need it. Otherwise, your food you eat would be, you just wouldn't get any of the nutrients from it. You would waste away.
Okay.
So,
and they can't make a fake small intestine that does
they can't. No.
Okay.
It's not yet. But you got cramping, urgency, frequency.
Frequency, cramping.
Just everything. It's just shitting a lot.
And it would hurt to shit? Like, it would be like, ow.
No, it doesn't hurt. It's like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's everything you can ever think of happening to your butt happening regularly.
You
also can't gain weight. It's like I was very skinny.
Really?
Yeah, because you're
Why?
shitting all the time. You're shitting. Things that aren't staying inside of you long enough to fuel you as much. So, and there's like Louis Armstrong when he was growing up. He grew up super poor along in the shitty area of New Orleans, and his family used to pick herbs along the train tracks, like to eat. They're like diuretic herbs.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Yeah, but they did it because they would eat such spoiled, shitty food, so it would move through them faster, so they wouldn't get poisoned.
Oh.
So I never get food poisoning.
Like when you get food poisoning, it's like you just have to shit and barf because your body's like, get this out of you. But yours doesn't stay in long enough to stay in.
I almost never get food poisoning because it goes through. I'll get crazy diarrhea, but I never get like the kind of food poisoning that brings down other people.
Yeah.
Like you're in bed for a day or two. That never happens to me. I just end up being like, yeah, it's the one perk.
I had that on Saturday. And I called Tommy at the Comedy Store, and I was like, dude, hey, I've been shitting and barfing like all day long. Right. It was like 9 o'clock. My spot was at 10:30. I'm like, so and there's always like 15 people in the lineup. So
yeah, so it's okay.
We're already an hour behind.
Thank God. Some other comic probably food poisoned you.
Yeah, as long as not the first two comics, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, hey, so I don't know if I'm gonna be making it. I'll try, but I just doubt it. And he said the one thing I didn't expect. He goes, oh, that would make me really sad if you missed.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck. If you had yelled at me, I could be like, dude, shut up, I'm sick.
Right.
Or if you'd be like, hey, no problem, then I just won't come. But sad.
That's a good tactic.
It was a really good tactic.
Wow.
I was like, all right, let me see then. And I put on clothes and I came down.
Yeah.
And it was bad. I did not do well.
Ooh.
I was feeling shitty.
Yeah. It saps your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also saps your energy a lot, too, to have the bowel thing. Sometimes it does. Used to.
Yeah. I remember when I did have to take a shit, when I would finally shit, it would be so, like, since it just gets so compressed, that it would get sort of jagged.
Ooh.
And I'd have to force it out, but it'd be like a way bigger
I can't imagine.
Than my opening.
Yeah.
So my asshole would have to really stretch apart, and it would like scrape it on the way out. And I remember having to like sweat real hard and like, okay, and like that pass didn't work, and have to like. But once you can clear,
that's so bad for you. You realize how bad that is for you? It is the worst.
Well, I'm getting more nutrients.
It is the worst. You're not though. It's bad. It's better to have more stools.
Explain.
Because it's that poison thing. You have this poison in you. You need to get it out of you. You need to be unencumbered, free of that shit.
Shit.
Gotta be free of that shit. It's actually this. I don't know where I read this, but some person printed a. I think it's from the Talmud, right? Isn't that
Talmud,
the Hebrew scripture?
That's the oral tradition. That's
there is a rabbi who said something to the effect of, "You should strive to have multiple easy bowel movements a day, so as to live carefree and free of the encumbrance of I don't know, something like that. But he was saying how you should. That's good. That's to live a good spiritual life, is to be shitting a lot, because you're ridding yourself of this
Wow.
the poison of like.
I can see that. The
Yeah.
Talmud is humongous, by the way.
Is it? Okay.
It's like the encyclopedia. When
So
it's actually written down, it's just volumes and volumes.
So there's room for there to be a contradictory opinion somewhere in there.
Or it's rude for someone to not have covered it and someone else does
Right.
cover it.
Yeah.
It means I might not have read that, but it's there.
Yeah. But I think that's
And
interesting.
by the way, I love the fact that it might be a word like encumbrance, where it was written
Yeah.
in Aramaic, so whoever translated it was like, let's use a big word to confuse people.
Right.
Like, why are you translating into words like encumbrance?
Well, the other weird thing about colitis is it's super common among Sephardic Jews.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 70% of people with colitis are Sephardic.
You're not Jewish.
No, but it's
No,
also
you're waspy.
But it's possible that I have like some distant lineage of that, because it's probably like a single gene that gets flipped.
Were your
And
people from Europe at all before the
well,
Holocaust?
yeah, I mean, everyone's from Europe, right?
Like around the Holocaust time?
My people?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I'm pretty boring mix of
You
nothing.
look pretty waspy.
Yeah.
There were some cases of people like seeing the Holocaust coming and knowing there was no escape.
Right.
So just giving their children to a local
Okay.
family, a local non-religious family. So
I mean,
just say it's yours.
It's possible. I don't know.
It's the only way they'll
Like,
live.
it could have happened, but it could have happened even longer ago. But it's only Ashkenazi, only Sephardic, not Ashkenazi.
Sephardi are the dark ones, though.
I can't. Sephardic are the dark ones, right?
Yeah.
Then I think it's only the Ashkenazi.
Oh, that makes more sense. We're
Yeah.
weaker. We're way weaker. The Ashkenazi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always get them confused.
Yeah. Ashkenazi are like they're from like England and
Yeah.
Romania and Hungary. Sephardi are like Syria.
Yeah, Persian.
They're the tough ones.
Yeah.
And that's why in Israel
They're
they're
the
not
ones
like
with rocket
us.
launchers.
Yeah. Most Jews in America are Ashkenazic Jews.
Yeah.
But in Israel, it's like this mixture of all of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have rocket launchers. Yeah.
They're the ones with the RPGs. So that's like the one thing I have that like makes me feel legitimate in terms of comedy. Like I have this Jewish disease. Otherwise, I feel like such a
sucks.
I feel like a fraud. Because I'm not black, I'm not Jewish, nothing really.
God,
So-
until you clear the area of your ass, like until you get the shit out, like if you try to force it like through the hole and you like give up, it goes back in.
Yeah, it does.
And you like got to start over now. It's like popping a pimple. It's real tight.
Well, I think I understand.
Man, this is
You
the
have
last time I like really, legitimately in my heart prayed to God.
You have to fix that.
I have. I shit more often now.
You should eat yogurt.
Ew, it's gross.
Yogurt's the best.
Froyo's okay.
You should be eating yogurt.
Ew, like Dannon.
Not Dannon. You get some stuff with a little good back.
You peel open the top and mix up the fruit at the bottom.
You don't have to get that. There's a lot of different options.
That's what yogurt is to me.
If you get
What
yogurt
other
that has a
options are
high
there?
bacterial content, then it's good for your. It'll get you moving. I'm just sitting here telling Ari how to.
Can we have a section on what foods to eat to
Yeah, we can. I have one of my best friends. He has like serial bowel problems,
Yeah.
like you, like the same sort of thing, constipation things, and it's like every time I
Not
talk to him,
constipation. I just don't want
that's
to
constipation.
go to
What
the
do you mean you
shitter.
don't want to?
I can.
You act like it's like vomiting or
when
something.
I go, it can come out. Constipation is when I've had that before. It's like when you like feel
You
you have to
can't.
go, you push, and like nothing's coming out here.
Wait, why don't you want to go though?
It's less now.
You need to drink more water.
Definitely need to drink more water.
Drink a lot more water, probably twice as much as you're drinking.
Yeah.
Do you exercise?
I mean, if it's raining, I run to my car.
Okay, so you don't.
Okay.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Exercising gets your bowels moving. Probably should be eating more
Burritos?
bacteria. Sauerkraut.
I have that on hot dogs sometimes. How
Yeah.
about blackberries? I heard blackberries are a good thing.
I don't know. I think all berries are good.
Raw garlic.
No.
This is what I heard for a upset stomach. Raw garlic and blackberries.
I don't know. I think the best for upset stomach is probably banana.
Banana?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Banana
know
coconut
that.
milk is really good.
Coconut milk?
Coconuts and bananas all have pectin, and they have other stuff that soothes your. I eat a lot of that stuff because it helps my bowels. But
Okay.
ginger.
Oh.
Ginger's a natural anti-inflammatory.
So when
Yeah.
you went to when you go to sushi, do you just go nuts on the ginger?
Not really.
thing?
I don't like ginger that much.
Okay.
But a lot of people like. I think sailors just eat ginger.
You know what's underrated?
What?
Ginger snaps.
They are. I don't really think they're underrated. They've been rated for a pretty long time now.
Yeah.
I think they've been rated
They're
pretty
not rated
heavily.
highly enough.
I think that they are
They're rated often enough.
They're post-rated.
Yeah.
They've been
They're
rated.
good. They're it's like a spicy, delicious
Yeah,
cookie.
maybe you should eat more ginger snaps, drink more water.
I'll get some ginger snaps
You
today.
should eat you should eat some stuff that's fermented. It'll probably get you moving.
Explain what that means.
It's fermented. It's been
Alcohol?
alcohol, but most alcohol doesn't have living. Most alcohol's not living, unless you're drinking like craft beer that has sediment in the bottom. It's unfiltered.
So what has...
Natural, real sauerkraut has it. Any type of miso has
Miso?
Miso is it's fermented soy.
All I know is miso soup.
Yeah, I mean I don't really know because I know that a lot of stuff.
Vinegar? Or is that
vinegar,
dead too?
but real vinegar, real unfiltered like apple cider vinegar. That shit's got a lot of good bacteria in it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll get you moving, man. You should start doing shots of apple cider vinegar.
Well, there's a recipe I have for pickle chips that uses apple cider vinegar.
Yeah. Oh, pickles. Yeah. There you go. Do that.
I'll eat more
You
of
just
those.
gotta get more bacteria in there. More bacteria.
And that'll help break it up.
Yeah, totally. I
God,
think so.
once you would clear that level, though, once that shit cleared the level of the asshole,
Euphoria.
it was just like, and then it was just like, then the whole rope would just keep going.
Oh, the rope?
The whole log.
Oh,
the
God.
whole log would just like keep going.
I'm so jealous, though. When I hear about this stuff, it's like this world I don't experience and never
What do your
have.
shits look like? Are they all just,
Oh, it's the worst.
like, what do they look like?
Looks like sometimes it looks like like a black bean paste. Sometimes it looks sort of like maybe a brown bean paste. Sometimes it looks like a watery amalgamation of some type of Italian wedding soup without the
That's what I have when I had
sausages.
stomach poisoning. I had that kind.
Italian wedding soup. And this guy, you see some,
Like pieces of meatball, but just small, very small.
yeah, very small. There's definitely, if I have any lettuce, you're gonna see that.
You see full, like, oh, that's lettuce. It reads, does you still have a lot of food that still reads as the food?
Totally. I used to take this medicine called Azicol, and when I stopped taking it, this is a long time ago, but I remember like going to the bathroom and seeing, what is that little thing? And I could read the fucking Azicol on the pill. It didn't digest at all. So this medicine is supposed to be anti-inflammatory.
It would come out whole?
Come out whole. So I stopped taking that. That didn't
Did
work.
you tell your doctor, like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm getting the effects because
Yeah, I
it's
did.
shitting out whole?
And I told them that, and they took me off it.
Oh.
Because it's so
They
many
didn't say
different
grind it up or something?
No, there's a lot. I've taken so many different medicines. I don't even know. There's these drugs called sulfa, which is the oldest type of drug. Really, I used to take something called sulfasalazine, and it's basically sulfur.
Sulfur?
Yeah, because sulfur has this weird anti-inflammatory property, I guess. And I don't know. There's all these weird things that people do. People who haven't had surgery or can't have surgery to have their colon removed. Who do all kinds of weird treatments they look for, like I think it's called mercure, some type of a silver, colloidal silver. They take they take silver, and they ingest it, and it's supposed to do some sort of radical anti.
That was that cheap one, but there was some white people on that
Yeah,
one.
there was. I think it was a different one.
Starline.
It's
The same cruise. It wasn't the same bus, but it was
Was
the
it?
same company.
Yeah, I think we should start one of those.
Start a tourist company?
Yeah.
And just give wrong advice, or just not advice.
Or just say stuff that people want to hear as opposed to the truth.
Oh.
This is where Tom Cruise went to the bathroom right here. Just last week we saw him.
This is the corner that that guy picked up a tranny hooker.
What we could do is we could
We
get
just
a bunch.
saw him. He went to the bathroom.
You get a
Yeah.
bunch of comics who look kind of like certain celebrities, and you get them to don enough
And
anonymous,
just come out really quickly.
like big sunglasses and weird stuff, and you have them placed at strategic intervals. Be like, oh, look at that! It's Tom Cruise! Wow! You just do that and drive around, and maybe be worth it if you had a shitload of
I
time.
like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
You should. Do you have any relation with any TV shows?
Do I have any relation?
Yeah, with like Conan or Letterman or anything. You should just
Oh.
get them to film that for you.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe we could do it for Kimmel.
Yeah, do it for
Because I'm
Kimmel.
doing the show. I'm starting the show for ABC in the fall.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's called The Family Tools.
The Family Tools?
Yeah.
The sitcom?
Yeah, it's a sitcom.
Wow, those
It's
are big money ones, right?
It's I don't know. It's money. It's
I mean, I know there's quotes higher and lower, but here's what I mean.
You want me to tell you? No.
Steve Renazzisi, when he was working at Tree People,
Tree People.
it's up on Mulholland. It's up
Okay.
it's between Laurel Canyon and Coldwater.
What is it?
It's a tour of woods.
Oh,
So mostly it was schools that would come out, like a fourth grade class would come out, and they
Right.
would show you the oak tree and the whatever.
Right.
And they were cool about it because they would let Steve go and audition and stuff.
Right.
And they would let him take off for an hour or two.
Yeah.
And they would show up late and take out early and just clock in for the whole day.
It's a treat place.
It was an okay job, but
Right.
when Steve got punked and everyone's like, oh, MTV, they fucking pay you shitty. They only pay you. And he goes, dude, I made $700 this week from MTV.
Oh,
That's
God.
so much more money than I was making. So, like, sitcom money, even when it's bad, it's
Wait,
like
$700? That's
a week
it?
for Punked.
That's nothing.
For year 2 of
trash.
Punked, when it was in its prime.
That's bullshit. I can't believe that. Wow. I mean, I
Per
thought I
episode.
got a fucking bad deal
Per
on TV.
episode, 700. But it was your show. This one was Ashton's show.
Yeah.
But it was
Oh.
in year 2 where they already knew it was popular.
Those people, I don't know. We shouldn't go down that road.
They sell it on the idea that, like, well, it'll really help your career. And, and it does.
Yeah.
Certain times.
It's disgusting.
700.
No one has any self-worth.
But the point is, $700 a week was a lot for Steve back then.
Wow, yeah.
Low level sitcom money for
Yeah.
ABC is like, fuck yeah, I can buy a car
Yeah.
if I need to in a few weeks. That's
Right.
great. The show got picked up?
Yeah, it's picked up. We start production in a few weeks.
Oh, awesome.
It's a great cast. It's J.K. Simmons. Do you know him?
He's, from
Yeah.
Oz.
He's in it.
From Oz. He was the white supremacy guy from Oz. Fuck yeah.
He's a great guy.
He was badass in Oz.
Well, he's in it. He's really good in the show.
And Juno, I guess, but...
Leah Remini is my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
How does she look now?
She's great. Yeah.
Well, she can't ask people what they're like.
Yeah.
Because even I'm sure she does look great. But
She's
there's no
very
easy
nice.
answer,
She's very
honestly.
sweet.
Yeah. She
and then
plays your
there's-
mom?
Yeah.
How old do you play?
I'm not sure. I think they haven't figured it out yet, but definitely
College, full adult?
high school.
High school?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's such a good tool to have.
It is, but people always say that, but it's also this weird. It's a weird thing. There's nothing good comes without bad.
Oh, right.
So, like we were talking about earlier, like the whole thing of, like,
That's why I explain to girls about monogamy.
right? Yeah, I agree.
They're like, if you don't want jealousy, then don't get. But I mean, you get some nice things, but you're gonna get these other things too sometimes.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like people always say that, but at the same time, like if I come here, like come to the store or any place, and people don't know who I am, they just assume I just got off the fucking bus from Kansas City. I'm like, I can do comedy.
Yeah.
I used to make my the priest laugh all the time. You know, that's just this instant. At least I think this is instant assumption of total innocence and naivete.
Yeah.
That is hard to. I mean, it can be good, but sometimes it's just
I
like.
bet you have to play off that when you're on stage.
I mean, I do play all that.
You must be even deeply aware, like inside, way deep inside, aware that people are relating to you this way. So that you then.
I do, but it's not so much audience as the problem. It's the gatekeepers of things that are. That's when it becomes like a thing where it's like.
People, and they probably want to make you pay your dues a little longer.
Yeah, even though
you're like, no, I paid him plenty. I've been around
I've been
for
doing this for a long time.
How long you been in LA?
I think 8 years now.
Did you start comedy here?
Yeah.
When you moved?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what
Isn't
I did
that
too.
weird?
Such a shitty place to start
I know.
comedy.
It's something where it's like I didn't realize it until 2 years afterwards. I'm like, I can't believe I fucking did that. I can't
such
believe
a
it.
horrible, unsympathetic.
And I wanted to try. I wanted badly to move to Chicago because I had a bunch of friends there.
Where are you from?
I'm from Minnesota.
Okay.
So I had plans. It was all set up to get a job and just live in Chicago, and because I really liked, all these people from Chicago. I wanted to do that. I just couldn't get a job there because I needed to have. The weird thing is, I needed to have bringing it back home. I needed to have health insurance because I have to have health insurance because.
You have to have it.
Yeah, I have to
good
have
for
it.
you.
So I couldn't move someplace and do that whole couch crashing thing that other people. Like I could have done it, but I wouldn't. I don't know. My parents.
How much is health insurance if you don't qualify for SAG insurance?
I was
just if you
paying
buy it on your own?
$500 a month.
That's too much money.
It is.
$6,000 a year.
It's a lot of money, especially if you're just, if you're young.
Getting by.
So I came out here because I got a job at.
Yeah, we need to do something where the best option is not to risk it.
Yeah, and so I came out here because some friends of mine I went to college with, they a little older than me, and they had jobs already working at Fox, and they managed to get me this really low level web job, and I got a job where I could afford insurance. So that's basically what brought me out here. I wasn't planning on it, but that's why I started doing stand up here.
The open mics here, they're just so unnurturing.
I never really did open mics here.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't.
Did you sketch?
I did a lot of sketch stuff, and like I said, the first time I did stand up was here at the Belly Room, and Peter Sprite was friends with the woman who I worked with, and the longer when I look back on it, what he did for me,
Yeah.
the longer time that passes between that, I just can't believe how incredibly nice that what he did.
Peter
like,
Sprite.
Unbelievable. Like, I can't imagine what it would take for me to do for someone what he did for me.
To go out of your way to tell.
Yeah, go out of my.
What
go out of his
what
way.
did he tell you?
He sat down with me. He helped me take my material and condense it and make it something
Really?
that was presentable on stage. He
Really?
gave me stage time. He helped me tape my sets, and I mean, it's incredible.
Really?
Yeah, and so the fact that he
That
did
is
that,
incredible.
I know
That really is incredible.
That's it's
no one
saintly.
does that.
I know
Even
no
if
one
he's
does
like,
that.
wants you to do his bringer show. It's like, yeah, come, bring 20 friends if you
It was
could.
a bringer show, and I did bring.
But the fact that he nurtures you through it too is
Yeah.
that completely excuses any of that.
I know, it's so amazing. I look back and I'm like, how could he have done that? It's so amazing.
Well, the way he ran it, and he started with Barnhart. I think he
Right.
started doing that room with Barnhart.
Yeah.
And Barnhart had that same sort of idea. I think he got that from him.
Right.
Which either way, it doesn't matter. It's great.
Yeah.
But the idea that it's almost not even you know how you feel like people are getting taken advantage of in the bringer shows?
Yeah.
With the way they did it, it made it seem like I'm helping you do comedy, and you'll want to invite your friends to
Yeah.
watch when you actually do this for the show.
Yep.
But it's not like forcing anybody.
Right.
It's just such a nice environment. They would let me close out those rooms sometimes.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
was like, this crowd is
Oh, it
so
was amazing.
nice.
Well, because the first time I ever did stand up, in LA, was when I was working at Fox. We had this weird web talk show. It was some stupid little thing
Yeah.
that we shot.
What was it called?
I don't even remember, but they shot it in the Valley. It was like a one-off kind of a pilot. And
They were in the web shows. They were just figuring what it's supposed to be.
right,
early
this
on.
was internal. This was for Fox.
Oh.
So it was showcasing Fox talent for Fox.com, whatever. And I decided, it'd be a great idea to do warm-up for this paid audience of 30 people.
Really?
I didn't realize at the time that a paid audience is the worst audience.
different.
I thought it was the opposite. I was like, they're being paid to be here, so they're just going to be happy as shit. They're not going to be a bunch of deeply, deeply jaded, unworking actors who are available in the middle of the day to come up to Van Nuys I didn't know that. And so I'm doing this material that I've worked on, and it was like the deepest, darkest bomb that's ever happened.
What were you talking about?
Oh, God, I don't even know. I mean, I was talking about myself and about, just general kind of me trying to be Richard Pryor without the experience.
David Taylor said it the best. He goes, every comic, when they start, they're doing their impression of a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
So we're just like, is this what it's supposed to look like?
It was so bad. I remember people not making eye contact with me. And
So they didn't want to even
that's
look
how
at
you know. That's how you know it's bad. Because when afterwards, it's people who you know are now looking at you. So then, yeah. So my experience here in the belly room after that was so much different. It was like, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow.
I was so taken aback that because it went so well. It was the exact opposite of the experience I had before. So, yeah.
Wow, good for Peter Sprite.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Kudos to Sprite.
It's good.
Man. So you get a lot of shit for being young. That's what we started talking about that.
Well, even back then, comics I meet here, people are always trying to give me advice no matter what. I have a joke that kills. I'm like, you know what you got to do? You got to go up there with a shot. And you got to take this shot. And I'm like what do you...
I hate advice.
Just
comics are such fucking pricks.
I mean, if you know me, that's one thing. If you have what I think would be for friends, totally. But if you don't know me, if you're going to come up to me and try to teach me how to be funny after I just fucking crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the best advice giver is Owen Smith. You know Owen Smith?
I don't think so.
Real tall, black guy.
I don't know. Maybe
anyway.
I do.
When he passes you on stage after you're introducing him, he'd say things like, hey, by the way, for that bit about that shot glass,
wow,
you might want to go down the road of what your father would say when he saw you. Take it or leave it. And he just walk by you.
Wow.
And it's like, no pressure to take this, just something I thought of. It's like, here's a gem. If you want it, you can have it. If not, you don't have to. Not like, here's what you have to do.
Right.
Just say something like, oh, I thought you were going to talk about what your father would say there. Something like, and you're like, oh, that is a good angle to go down.
Yeah.
Or a little tag, it might be something along those, and not force you. He just says it so well.
Or something like, I think it's so funny if this happened.
Yeah.
Like that makes me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking of you saying that. So
I love shit jokes. I would go even further with it or something like that.
Right, yeah.
The worst I ever saw was right out here in the patio. Is Jim Painter, one of the funniest. Like, did you ever know him?
I don't know. I never knew him, but I know of him. Yeah.
He was like, when we had like the employee class of people that would come up, and it was like a group of people that lasted for over 4 or 5 years. They don't all come at the same time, but like me and Duncan were a part of the same like employee class.
Right.
Jim Painter was the best of us.
Okay.
He was the funniest one, and when he was on during the employee section of the open mic, we'd all go in to watch him because he was just the funniest one. People started giving him advice because he started bombing. He would crush, then he started getting passed a little bit higher, so he'd do the belly room, start bombing.
Right.
Then he came back down to the original room, just
like
start bombing. So
minors.
people would tell him what he's doing wrong. You're being too apologetic.
Yeah.
He hated it after a while. No one knew what it was. Don't fucking tell him. He has to figure it out.
Yeah.
There's some switch, and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I hate that when people are like, oh, this joke didn't work because of this. Like, no, this joke didn't work because I'm tired. I didn't pause long enough and smile right there. The joke is fine. It's worked 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. But
sometimes things just don't work.
Yeah, that's another
Sometimes
thing
things just nothing you can do about it.
So Kirk Fox is like, can I tell you something? And Jim's like, okay, you can tell me something, but don't make it advice about my act.
Okay.
Do not. And Kirk was like, okay. He goes, but I'm telling you, man, whatever it is, do not give me advice.
Uh-huh.
I will not want to hear it. And Kirk's like, okay, I just want to tell you this one thing. He's like, as long as it's not advice. Are we clear on that? And Kirk's like, I just think if you change the wording on this joke. And he's like, what the fuck? He was so mad.
Wow.
And rightfully so. But people have this idea like, what I thought of is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's gold. And trust me, you'll want this piece of gold.
Yeah.
But it's not gold. It's just your thought that you happen to come into your head like that. Ugh, people are such assholes.
They're the worst. They're the absolute worst. Good. We're at the Comedy Store right now. We're at the world famous Comedy Store. Comics Talk. Comics.
Okay, so sorry. So you have this NBC show, or ABC show. It's starting this fall. Congratulations. That's
it starts in January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also Kyle Bornheimer. He's the main guy. Do you know him?
I don't know him. Who
He's really funny, man.
Kyle Bornheimer?
Yeah.
Which one is he?
He's an actor. I'm trying to think how to tell you what you know him from, but he's...
What else has he been in?
I should know this, but he's so funny, man. He's got like this great like way of being like, a very like everyman kind of guy, but just really sort of like undercover, you know? Undercover.
How do you spell Bornheimer?
Bornheimer, I think. Bornheimer.
Is that in my league?
Yeah, he was in that. Yep.
Oh, that's that main dude? Is that in my league?
Let me see.
That him?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh.
I can't remember his name. I guess his name is like Jay.
Oh, it's him. It's this guy.
Yeah, him, yep.
What's he been in? You Again, Worst Week. Oh, that Worst Week Ever.
Yeah, okay.
I remember that show.
Yeah.
It was about going up to his wedding. Yeah, he was good in that.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Natasha was in an episode of that when I was still really heartbroken over her. Oh. And I remember coming on TV, and I was like, motherfucker.
Right.
I was so mad. I was hoping she did bad. She did like a really good job, though. That's good. That guy's good. Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah,
he was funny. Yeah, shit happens to that guy.
Yeah.
Stuff just happened. He's like, oh, what?
And that's the show. Is he's kind of this unlucky guy who's tries all these different careers and tries to change things and things that don't need any changing, and he just keeps failing. But now he's moved back home to take over his dad's handyman business, which is JK, because JK has a heart problem, and
he's living with his father.
He's living with all of us.
Okay.
Yeah, they're living with me. He's my roommate.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's like this. Yeah, it's like a sort of dysfunctional, non-nuclear family.
Okay.
Yeah, it's single camera. So
Did you say nuclear?
Non-nuclear.
Okay.
Because a nuclear family, right? It's mom, dad, 2 kids, right?
No, mostly it was the pronunciation of nuclear.
Did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
The redneck way twice.
I said nuclear. So this is one of those things where the more you think about it... wait, how did I say it? You say it how I said it.
You said nuclear.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said nuclear. It's
going to come out. I mean, it's on a recording. I think you said 3 straight times nuclear. And I was like, what'd you say? And you're like, is it not the nuclear family? Which one's nuclear? Which one's not nuclear?
It's the redneck way.
It is the redneck way. There's nuclear. There's insurance.
God.
If you mispronounce the...
insurance?
Yeah, instead of saying insurance, you're doing it the right way.
How are you supposed to say it? How are you not supposed to say it?
Insurance.
Insurance?
There's insurance and there's insurance. The pronunciation key goes in the second one. I know it doesn't really matter.
I'm good enough with most words to where I get a pass on one word.
Nuclear is one of those words that rednecks say that way.
Nuclear.
No, you got
Nuclear.
it right now.
Okay, I got it.
You would definitely spell it right, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's N-U-C.
It sounds so right, though. Nuclear.
Because people say nuke.
Yeah.
I'm going to nuke that.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Oh, well, that'll be good. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Here's why it's a blessing to have those looks, is that you can do those parts for a little longer and you're in less competition. Because
Yeah,
your
that's
competition
true.
is actual kids.
Right. And sometimes that's kind of weird, though, because when I'm going to audition for stuff, it's like with these kids, they don't know anything.
Do you audition with like real 16-year-olds sometimes?
Sometimes, but more it's not. It's older.
People like you.
No, it's more like older than 16, more like 18 or 20 or stuff
Okay.
like that. So, but some of those kids are just so stupid. I mean, actors are stupid to begin with. Most
stupid.
actors are dumb.
They're stupid.
But these kids,
Steve Byrne did this because he's
Yeah.
been like calling me in for his show.
right?
And sometimes it's like a few scenes and sometimes it's like a line or two.
Right.
I don't mind it any time. I know I'm getting the audition because of Steve Byrne.
Right.
I know that. And it's like, I know he's a funny guy. And it's like, yeah, I'd love to do a show with him. And
Right.
even if it's 2 lines, it'd be a show on set. And so I texted him once and I was like, hey, thanks. Even the auditions help me with like not commercial, with like the casting directors. Just
Yeah, 'cause you get to know them.
legitimize me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you
Well,
get
that's
to
how
know
everything
them.
works. You never book something the first time you meet someone. It's always the second time because you've put yourself in their head, and then they think about you.
And now you're comfortable with them. You're like,
Yeah.
hi, Julie, how you doing?
Right.
Things been okay? You're
Right.
just cool and you can be yourself.
Right.
And so I texted him and he was like, yeah, I'd rather work with any comic, even if it's a line,
Right.
than some actor.
Right.
Actors are the worst.
They are. I mean, most of them
Not
are.
all.
Yeah.
We're generalizing.
But a lot of them are, yeah.
God. They're dumb.
But sometimes comics are the worst.
Sometimes comics are, I guess. Yeah, they're
I don't
needy.
know. It's just this, like, weird culture of, I don't know. You know exactly what I mean. It's like
Trying
that.
to be on too much.
Trying to be on, or just everything's a joke. Everything's I know best. There's no,
Yeah.
there's no humility. I think humility is
Yeah.
a big thing. That's why there's a lot of comics who are struggling to be actors, and they don't get it. They keep trying. It's because they don't check their ego.
Yeah, like, well, maybe have you ever taken an acting class?
Yeah, take an acting
why
class.
would you be good at acting if you've never really
Right.
tried?
Or
Just
why-
because you want to be?
Right. Yeah, it's because you want to be. It's because you're funny. Because you kill on stage. So what's the difference? It's the
Yeah.
same thing, right?
No.
It's totally the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
You're like,
not.
aren't there funny actors who have never done comedy?
Yeah.
Then
There's-
can't you see?
There's hilarious actors who are deathly afraid of that.
Yeah.
That makes
But they're
sense.
still really funny. They know timing really well.
Right.
Yeah, no humility.
Life.
But there's cool comics who aren't. You're one of the cool comics.
There's everything. There's all you got them all.
Hey, what's your I should stop right now and say
Yeah,
got
it's been
to
a while.
stop. What?
What's my what?
What's your Twitter address? Like what
Twitter
do you
is
want to
just my name, Johnny Pemberton at Johnny Pemberton.
J-O-H.
JohnnyPemberton.
Okay.
How you doing?
See, that's a cheap one.
It is.
Oh, that's a different cheap one. 800-701-7259. It's
I always
rockin' Hollywood.
want to mess with those things. I don't know why. It's like
We
it's
used
ingrained
to,
in my
when
nature.
we used to sit inside during
Yeah.
the day and stuff, we'd write here and stuff.
Right?
We had a sketch show that was really bad, and we all met here during the day.
Man.
We'd moon them through the window.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I almost got killed in London because I
in London,
mooned
that's cool.
this security guard, this Middle Eastern security guard. I mooned him, and he saw me a few days later. I was walking outside. This is a longer story, but basically, I'm by myself walking between buildings. I was in London studying abroad during college, right? Like
Going
every
to it,
good
yeah.
white kid is supposed to do.
Okay, junior year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, junior year,
Yeah.
and I.
Like kid, yeah.
So I mooned this. I wasn't mooning him. I was mooning the double-decker buses because they would go by our window on the second
Yeah.
floor. And he happened to see my ass. And he's Arab.
Yeah.
And
They take more of it culturally.
That's a big thing. I didn't know that at the time, but it's a big deal. And he grabs me, fucking shakes me. You show your fucking ass to me. You show your ass. I break your fucking legs. I break your motherfucking legs. You. And I'm like, oh. And the guy who was like security guard at our building, oh man, I thought I was dead. I thought I was gonna be a bag over the head, wake up in the
Like,
desert.
No, just a high school prank.
Yeah.
It's just boyish charm.
Oh, I know, man.
What?
Yeah. I was so scared.
I did that once in sleepaway camp. You got a canteen every
Right.
day. You can order from the canteen. And I love, by the way, junior year abroad, sleepaway camp. Inner city kids are like, what? What was your life like? But it was my goal over a few years to use every penny in canteen because some stuff was 85 cents, some stuff was 50 cents. And if you got down to like 10 cents, you couldn't use those last 10 cents.
Right.
So I tried to time it right at the end. Like, okay, I got $1.75. That's 2 cans of Coke and a Mars bar. I think I'm okay to time it up. And I got it. And I had 1 day left. Mm-hmm. And so then I wrote in, like, well, we had a grid. It would have your name. And in your name, you would have X's and it would have like Mars bar, Coke, Sprite. And you would have just put an X of what you wanted. And they would bring it to you later that day. And so since I used everything, in the boxes, I just wrote F and then like filled in, then U, then filled in, then C, then filled in. Like I wrote "fuck you, bitch" because that's what I had room for. But I didn't mean it for the canteen lady. I just meant it for like the page.
Oh no!
Like, fuck you, bitch! I nailed it. I got all my pennies out. Yeah, and they're like, "Why would you write "fuck you, bitch" to the canteen lady?" And I was like, "Oh no."
No, it was for the. It wasn't intended for you.
I was like, I can immediately see you'll never believe me.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't.
You can't. It's too late.
Yeah.
You
so
can't
that guy
home.
was shaking you.
Oh God, yeah. But there was a little bit of. There was. I wasn't
to him too.
Completely innocent. Yeah, I think there was a little bit of fucking with him. So, I deserved it.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Do you have any dates you tour at all?
No.
Oh. I wanted to do
I can't.
You can't?
Well, I know I can't. I just don't have. I can't go anywhere for a little while.
Why?
Just because I have to.
Because of the bowel?
No, I just have to be. I don't have time to put anything together until I start shooting. So
yeah, you've done well in Hollywood.
I guess so.
You've done stuff.
Yeah. Well, you gotta go see my movie, The Watch.
What is that?
It's comes out July 27th.
July 27th.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it about a watch that you shove up your ass and your body doesn't allow you to maintain in
it's
there?
It's about a neighborhood watch. It's the one with Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn and Jonah Hill.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a big one.
It's a big one. It's a big old movie.
How big is your part?
I don't know. People ask me that, and it's one of those things where...
Where are you on the page of the watch?
I don't know, actually. I haven't looked at that. That doesn't really mean anything, you know.
I thought that's... What is that, just how big your career is, not how big your part is?
I think it is. I don't really know.
Because Ben Stiller had 2 lines, he'd be ahead of you?
I know. I don't know. I was shooting for like two or 3 weeks. So 2 or 3 weeks on the movie. So
of shooting?
Yeah.
That must have been really fun.
It was fun. It was super fun. It was great. So go see that movie, I guess, instead of seeing me at Bonkers in Houston.
Will Forte's in it?
Yeah, he's great, man.
Billy Crudup, remember him?
Billy Crudup, yeah.
Some guy named Richard Ayoade who's on his way up.
He's great. Richard Ayoade is great. He's one of the guys. He's one
Johnny
of the 4
Pemberton,
guys.
punk kid.
Yeah.
Do you know your picture on here is upside down?
Yeah, I know.
Did you do it on purpose?
Yeah,
I like it.
I hate IMDb.
I like it. It sticks out.
Good.
You can find you way easier.
It is. And people... I used to do it with my license plate. I used to have it upside down in the front. But that's
Dude,
bad.
Can I just tell you this? That do you know Kathy Shim?
I don't think so.
She was in it as Asian housewife. She's hot. Do you know Carissa Capobianco?
No, I mean...
She's hot. She's in it.
There's a lot of stuff. There's no crossover, you know, because they're shooting totally different scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the same with 21 Jump Street. Like, I never met Ice Cube.
You were in 21 Jump Street?
Yeah. I never met Ice Cube, or there's a whole other part of the movie that I wasn't a part of, so there's always people who
That's what they did
meet.
for Caddyshack when they realized that Chevy Chase and Bill Murray had shared 0 scenes together.
Really?
Like they hadn't shot with each other at all.
Yeah.
And apparently, I guess they didn't like each other too.
Really? That's weird.
Or Bill Murray didn't like Chevy Chase. I think there was something because he left Saturday Night Live after like a year.
Bill Murray did?
No.
Chevy Chase did?
And all those people were like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
Think you're better than that? I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But so they're like, oh, let's give them a scene together. Just because, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
The biggest 2 stars or 2 of the big 3 stars, and they're not in this together.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah, movies are weird like that.
Movies are weird, but they're great. Movies are the ultimate.
I'll be in Austin, Texas in August at Cap City.
Cool. That place is good.
Yeah.
I like those people. They're the best.
August, I'll be at Cap City.
All those people in Austin are just like the nicest, best people. I feel like it's like, I don't know. Everyone I've met from that club is just...
Cap City?
Yeah, they're great.
Have you played there a bunch?
No, I haven't, but I really want to. And they've talked about trying to get me down there. Just a matter of time. I did that Fun Fest in Austin. I guess that was actually right after finishing Neighborhood Watch. The last day of filming for that, where I was getting tackled by Ben Stiller in a football field up until 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I had to fly that day to do a set at Fun Fest in Austin. I was in Atlanta.
Wow.
I was so exhausted. I hadn't slept for 2 days.
How was the set?
It was good.
Fun.
It was good considering it's a festival where it's loud and dusty, and there's a band playing opposite you that's much more popular and sexy.
Oh, yeah.
It's super fucking loud.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'll be there in September, actually. I didn't realize. September, I'll be there, and in
go see Ari
Toronto,
Shaffir
and
in Austin.
Indianapolis in September. But, okay, let's get back to your horrible body.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we addressed it. Okay.
Here's what we got up to.
Okay.
You had problem. We didn't even get up to when you, if you got to take a break to go to the bathroom or something.
No,
we can
I'm
do that.
fine. I'm good.
Okay. You got to the point where they were giving the what's it called?
Enemas. Yeah.
That wasn't the answer.
Well, everything. There's no long.
We didn't get to the place where you replaced anything in your body yet.
Right. Well, there comes a point where, like, I guess I was sick for about 10 years at that point, and the discussion of the surgery option comes
sick
up.
Meaning just from bowel sick?
Yeah.
Just shitting sick?
Right.
Okay. Did this go through to you, like, did you feel nauseous ever?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes you have a flare up and you can feel nauseous. It can, like, be systemic. Go back to that good word.
Love that word.
Yeah, so there's a thing where we brought up the idea of surgery because there's no treatment was really working.
Did you get any fevers at all?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, anything bad that can happen will happen because inflammation's like the basis of all types of sickness. Because it basically means that your body, it has to do with like an immune rejection type thing, where it's a thing where your body is fighting itself, kind of, because there's this weird thing where in like third world countries there's no bowel disease, none. They have a lot of worse stuff.
There's no bowel disease.
No, because our lives in America and first world countries are so clean and so sterile that we don't have the flora in our intestines that people do who live in countries that don't have as clean of water.
Like the bacteria to fight stuff off?
Right. And because of that, that's what a lot of people think colitis comes from, or those type of diseases come from, is because that it's basically the bowel fighting itself, because it hasn't evolved as fast as we have evolved ways to clean the things we eat and drink. So that's one theory of it, and that's basis of that's what kind of what the inflammation is.
Okay.
So your bowels, your bowels are all, it's not doing its job. It's all like fucking hot and swollen and sweaty and shitty. So you I don't know, it's kind of a tangent, I guess, but yeah, I took all this medicine for so long and nothing really works for a long period of time. So there's the idea that they bring up the idea of surgery, because surgery, like I said before, the longer you have inflammation in your bowels, and ulcers in your bowels, that's where bleeding comes from. There's ulcers. The higher chances you have of getting colon cancer triples every year. The likelihood of getting colon cancer, and so the only way to fix that is to have your
colon
bowel
taken out.
removed, because you don't need it.
Your colon.
Yeah, you don't need it, especially if it's not doing its job.
So it just goes straight from your small intestine to your asshole?
Yeah.
That's why you have to be quick. There's no place for it to sit and wait for. There's no processing plant.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's no part of the processing plant, the finishing part of it.
There's no waiting room.
Yeah. There's no finishing. There's no like, I don't know. If it was furniture, it would be unsanded and unpolished furniture.
Right. It just looks like a bench, but there'd be no cushions on
Looks
it.
nice.
There'd be no ornate.
Right. So
when did you have a shit bag?
When did I have what?
A shit bag.
Oh yeah, good. Some people don't realize that. I had it for about 12. I guess about almost 3 months.
Oh.
No, sorry, I was about to say 12 weeks.
Oh my god.
No, I had it when I was 19.
Oh.
And I had it.
This is when you got the surgery?
Yeah, surgery, because you have a 2-part surgery, because they take out the colon and they build what's called the J pouch.
The J pouch?
Yeah, because it's the end of your small intestine. They cut it down the side and they double it over on itself and sew it up to create. It's like the shape of a J, but it's basically like they're basically creating a rectum, a colon again, because you have to have some sort of reservoir for your shit before it leaves your body.
Yeah.
So they create that, and that has to heal, and after reattach it to your anus, and while it's healing, the poop can't pass through it, so you have a colostomy bag. Yeah.
So
I had one for I think it was 2 months, maybe 2.5 months.
Can you laugh at this stuff?
Yeah, totally.
Or it doesn't seem painful to you at all because it's removed enough from you?
Well, I mean, it is painful, but it's like I mean,
at the time, could you laugh at it?
Yeah.
Really?
What do you mean by laugh at it? I mean,
realize like, okay, here's what I mean. When I was learning how to skate,
right?
This was when I was probably 29,
right?
And Bobby Lee helped me teach me a little bit. Duncan taught me a little bit.
Man, this is such a family here, isn't it?
It really is a family.
Wow,
yeah.
What else did you guys learn?
Kevin Chrissy bought me my first deck.
Jeez. Skateboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what do you mean, ice skating?
I don't know.
Whatever. Okay, yeah.
I thought you were like, what, you're like 70? No.
And so Bobby was trying to teach me how to ollie.
Right.
Him and his brother. And they were good skateboarders. He grew up in San Diego. He knew some stuff. And so I tried. I remember landing on it, not nailing it, just tipping the... Can you skate at all?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I play a skateboarder in that movie, The Watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not very good, though.
Oh.
I mean, I skateboard. I'm competent. I'm like the Ringo Starr of skateboarding.
I think... who's the white rapper in the alt scene?
The alt? What do you mean, the alternative...
In the
comedy
alternative
scene?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He sings Wolves, My Love for You is like Wolves.
Howard Kramer.
Howard Kramer, yeah. I think him and Chip Pope got a part in some skateboarding movie.
Really?
Like, can you skateboard? Like, yeah, absolutely. And then they got it and like, oh, we need to be really good. Yeah, so they just had to like train like all weekend and it was still like really shitty. But I remember jumping up, getting the top part of the board up in the air, the bottom part up like maybe a centimeter, and then landing, and then it shoots out from under you.
And you fall and land your ass.
Land on my keys. On my side, immediately a giant, like as big as the black and blue was my knee, was that on my side.
Right.
And just being in tremendous pain, but also laughing at the same time because realizing how ridiculous it was. That's what I mean by laughing while it's going through it.
I think some of that was that way, but it's not the same kind of pain because it's a weird thing because you have to be delicate because you feel like you have this thing on you. And
explain what a shitbag is.
Well, you have what's known as a stoma, which is a little tail end of the small intestine, which has been sewn into your abdominal wall, and it exits. Let's see here. Exits.
Oh,
that's where it was, right there.
Right there, right.
So just to the right of my belly button.
Down about an inch and over about 3 inches from your belly button.
That's where my stoma was.
Okay.
And so that's where. That's where essentially your new exit is.
So it's like a flat. It's like those things that you blow up, those flotation devices.
Yeah, it's like a little donut. It's like a little, very beautifully crimson red, sort of donut sleeve type thing. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And that you have like this contraption you basically tape on over it. That is a collection that catches the shit. It's a colostomy bag.
And okay, how would that hold on to your body? Like
I said, it's taped. It's adhesive.
It's taped around your.
It's taped.
How big is it?
How big is the stoma? Stoma's about the size of I don't know how big is that?
Okay, a dime.
It's about the size of it's about the size of a silver dollar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the bag, how big is the bag?
The bag's about as big as a small bag of chips.
Like so less than like an IV. I imagine you walking around with
it's about this big. That's a bag of chips, right?
It's a big bag. It's a bag.
It's a tall bag.
King size.
It's a tall bag of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a tall bag of personal size.
Not family
bag.
size, but like the biggest of the just for you.
Yeah, I'd say it's like about 4 or 5 inches wide, maybe 7 inches tall. And it's a plastic bag.
And does it come out from a cord into the bag? No, the bag is just taped right to you there.
Yeah, it's taped to you with like special medical adhesive.
Okay.
And you change it every 3 to 4 days.
So for 3 or 4 days, you're just walking around with shit taped to you?
You're not shits. You empty the bag.
Oh, okay.
But you change out the bag and the adhesive.
Oh, a whole different bag.
Yeah, a whole different bag. Yeah.
How do you empty the bag?
It has an opening at the bottom, and it has this little. It's basically like a beret meets a chip clip at the bottom. It's full. It's so low tech
compared to the Ziploc bag that I put ice in.
Like, what do you mean?
When you open it, is it just like opening the opening of a Ziploc
basically,
and it all pours out?
Basically, yeah. Uh-huh.
Would you get it on you?
No, because it's like it's long enough to where it goes between your legs. So you sit in the toilet and you pop it open and whoop, it all drains out.
Pours out.
Yeah, and it's foul. It is. I mean, it is a smell that is hard to describe. It's a smell that, like, if you were to walk into a room that had that smell, you would probably like just stop all of a sudden and go, huh, "Who's chasing me? Like, huh, who's there? Who's there?" You feel like you'd seen a ghost. It's midnight suddenly, and you have no friends. That's the smell. It's hideous. I mean, it's thick. It's kind of.
What do you mean thick?
It's.
What do you mean thick?
The vapor, at times, the vapor from your bag waste, the smell of it is. It's not airy. It's. You know how certain gases are heavier than others?
So this should be inside your body right now.
Yeah.
But it's outside your body.
Yeah, because it's getting early release. It's like letting a convict out of jail before they've had time to mellow out.
They're still murderers.
Yeah,
they still have it in their heart.
Still murdering. That's what it is. It's the worst. It is foul, evil dreck.
Did you ever have to have any sort of sexual encounters while you were on
God,
that?
no. You kidding me?
That you were just I can't. You just
No.
couldn't.
I mean, this is the thing they always sell you. It's the doctors and stuff the people, the nurses and the doctors who deal with, there's people who have these for their entire lives.
Yeah.
And those people, they're saints because they're able to deal with this. And there's definitely people who have, I'm sure, great sex lives and do all kinds of stuff with their colostomy bag. But also for me, I mean, yeah, I was having a lot of sex then. Yeah, sure.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It really interrupted my sex life. I'm pretty sure I was a virgin at the time.
Well, I mean, did you even have dates?
No.
You were a virgin? How old were you then?
I think I was 19. I think so.
You were a virgin at 19?
I'm not really sure. I was definitely.
The fuck do you mean you're not sure?
No, wait. I'm just thinking about it because I don't think about this a lot.
All right.
It was after my first year of college, so I would have been probably about 19 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a virgin then.
When did you lose your virginity?
When I went back to college.
What do you mean when you went back to college?
I took a semester off of school to have the surgery.
Oh.
Yeah, because you have to, because you take so much
It's just too
recovery time.
intrusive.
Yeah. So in terms of, I wasn't worried about the bag getting in the way of my active
Walking
sex
around with
life.
the quad,
Yeah.
trying to be the cool guy.
No, you can't do that. I mean, people claim you can, but I don't.
Now, could you piss normal?
Yeah, everything that's normal.
Okay.
That's actually a different system.
And some people have piss bags too, right? That's
They
a thing
do,
for
yeah.
some people.
Yeah, I don't think that's not as big a deal. I
Now,
think.
do some people have to have this colostomy bag for years?
Yes, like I said, some people have it for their entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's got to get in the way.
It does, but I'll say this: it's horrible to have it. But right when it was time for it to, a week or two before I was going to have the second surgery and be gone with the colostomy bag,
Yeah.
I really feel like I had the hang of it. I feel like
Releasing it and stuff?
I've gotten used to it. There was some Holocaust survivor writer, maybe it was Primo Levi or something,
Yeah.
who said something like, humans can become used to anything.
Yeah.
Because there are people in the
Humans can
Holocaust,
adapt.
they were used to it. They were. It sounds so horrible to say it, but they were honestly used to. They had.
I interviewed for this
They
podcast.
found a rhythm.
I interviewed for this podcast a couple of Holocaust survivors.
Right.
3 of them, actually. But, one was a couple that met in a concentration
Right.
camp. And I was like, how did you deal with, what was going through your mind of, were you like, what is happening to us? She goes, they were like, it was just happening. So
Yeah.
you just had to move.
It became.
There was no, this is right or wrong.
Yeah.
It was like, this is our existence.
This is how it is. So I definitely got used to it. I wasn't happy about it.
Within a
but
few weeks, you got used to it.
It didn't make me depressed because there were sometimes where
Okay.
I
the
would
question.
get really depressed because I feel like I just feel like I have no control, and you feel dirty, and you just feel encumbered, and I'll be really depressed sometimes because I feel like you can extrapolate what you will from it because it makes sense that it's.
How old were you when you lost virginity?
I guess I was probably 19
Right,
then.
when you got back
Yeah,
afterwards. Oh, okay. Congratulations.
trying to get back into sex.
23.
Ari's
I was 23, but I think
bread and butter.
I was a sophomore or junior in college, too.
Yeah.
Back to sex. Did you ever feel when this was happening to you,
Right.
as you were starting to have the problems and
Right.
surgeries being planned and all the fucking enemas and all this stuff,
Right.
did you start feeling like you had done something wrong to deserve it?
No,
Never?
I'm
Wow.
not like
Were
born.
you religious at all?
I went to Catholic school, and I was confirmed Catholic. So technically, if I die and the God is Catholic, I probably will be accepted because I've
Catholic blood?
been confirmed.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so
Good for you. That seems like a fair way to get to decide who goes to heaven.
I know.
Seems super fair.
I
Catholics.
really believe in it a lot.
Yeah.
But so
Whenever I had
never
problems,
thought
I
about.
thought like I'd done something wrong, or
Well, I
like, make
guess-
a deal with God to make this go away.
Well, I didn't think about. I mean, I felt like I'd done some. I think it's more of this. Like, what did I do wrong? What did I do to deserve this? That's what you think more of.
Yeah,
Not so much
yeah.
did you do something.
Yeah, what did I
you
do to deserve this?
Yeah, because it's so horrible and it's so taxing that you're just like, this isn't fair, and it sucks.
Especially when you're younger, you really do feel like the world is fair, so it should work out.
Yeah.
So then, if I'm had this bad thing happen to me, what did I do?
Right. I kind of think in a way, sometimes I think it kept me from being an asshole.
Why?
I think if I hadn't have become really sick, I would have. Hold
on. What's going on?
How you doing?
What?
These are Sennheisers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They're about the same as Schur's. Yeah.
Cool. Wicked.
All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We just got visited by a guy walking on the street who knows a lot about microphones.
I thought he was homeless, but then he knew a lot about microphones.
I bet that guy's a sound genius. I bet he can just... Yeah, I bet he's probably like a savant in terms of...
He knew
stuff.
Shure and Sennheiser mics. Those are the two normal good ones.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I would think that... I kind of thought that that I maybe would have become a total asshole because... I mean, I grew up with a good amount of... I never had to worry about money. My dad's a doctor.
Okay.
Grew up in a super sheltered place in Minnesota. It's white as white can be. You know, I'm not a stupid person. I'm pretty smart. Not the smartest, but
you're not nuclear smart, but you're
well, I mean, I have a lot of my friends, like pretty much everyone I went to high school and college with. They all, you know, I went to had a lot of friends who were National Merit Scholars.
You going to college and graduating from college was a given, right?
Oh, of course, it was like a given.
Those are smarter people. It was just like, of course you'll do that.
Like I never had to struggle in English class, any type of thing like that. It was always super easy. Mm-hmm. So I kind of feel like that in a way that I would have, if I would have grown up without having any difficulties at all, that I might have
spoiled.
Yeah, I might have been an asshole and kind of had a perspective on things that was kind of one-sided and shitty and become a real asshole because I think I probably would have. My dad's about 6'3" or 6'2". I mean,
really?
I probably would have been.
You look way different than your
I know because if you're sick, you don't grow as much.
Oh, really? That stopped you from becoming like your full potential of height?
Yeah, definitely. My little brother, who's 4 years younger than me, looks. He doesn't. No one thinks he's my brother, and people think he looks like he's my older brother. And so I probably would have looked a lot different. So I think, you know, if you're a bigger person, things become easier for you, and you don't have to work as hard for things because you're strong and you're healthy and you're...
Definitely it's easier to lift things up.
If you're strong and smart and healthy...
and white and American?
Yeah, you don't have to... There's things you just don't have to think about.
Yeah.
That normally people have to...
And a man?
I never had to outsmart anything. I would never have to...
What do you mean?
You know, because that's a thing. That's a thing that you have. If you're handicapped, you have to learn how to do things with that handicap. You know.
Yeah.
And it makes you stimulates your brain because you have to figure out. If you're in prison, you got to figure out how to escape.
Yeah.
But if you're never locked down
had
at all,
adversity, you don't have to overcome that adversity.
That part of your brain never has to work, so you think you're a lesser person as a result. And so I feel like even though that stuff was all super horrible, it's made me fearless.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's nothing that could possibly happen to me that I haven't already dealt with in terms of being really sick. So, like the idea of, I think it's made me an incredibly tough person.
I like that.
I think that I wouldn't have that toughness, and I wouldn't have that kind of...
And you feel like you'd be an asshole. You'd be like, I wouldn't understand other people's struggle.
I think I would probably be a prick. I think I would probably be...
Young Hollywood is like that. If people become like successful in Hollywood at a young age, like 17, 18...
They just don't get it.
Yeah, then they hit 25. Like, what's your problem? Let's just go... They have no idea that some people are poor.
Yeah.
They just don't even understand that idea.
And that's also what makes you a better performer, and especially acting, is if you have, like...
Stuff to draw from.
If you have... Yeah, pieces of your... If you have had difficulties... there's no better gift.
That's what Hemingway said.
Yeah.
That's why I signed up for war. He goes, I'll go be a fucking ambulance driver in the war.
Right.
So I can see what war's like. So I can have something to draw from.
You have something to talk about.
You
have
these things.
You have a thing that's, it's the oldest thing in the book, but it builds character.
Yeah.
And I think that I probably would have, I never had a...
But the thing is, you don't... Yeah, the idea of like it's build character, it's good for you.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes that's a cop-out on like a way to take pride in the shitty things that happen to you. To
Yeah.
well, see, it's better for me. And it's like, no, you don't want those things. You don't want to be robbed at gunpoint. You don't want to
Right.
have to grow up in a shitty environment. You don't have to have pain just so later the abstract idea that it might build this character.
But anything that you survive and are able to look at it objectively, then that's good.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't crush you and defeat you, because some people
Anything. Good things, too.
But some people get rattled by war and disease. They get rattled and they're ruined. They're broken.
Yeah.
You're broken by this thing because you couldn't find a way to live and work around it or live with
deal
it.
with it, yeah.
So some people do get broken by shit.
Breaks you.
And
That's how depression starts a lot.
Yeah.
When you have some event, you have a breakup and just finishes you.
Yeah. It
Your
breaks you.
dad dies, and you're just like, I can't recover from this. I don't know how to recover from this.
Right.
People lose their job, and it's just like they just get in this depression. They can't stop
Yeah.
because they've never lost a job before. But if you've been fired when you were 16,
Yeah, you've had it. So yeah. So
Okay, whatever.
that's the thing. That's why I feel like there's always because Hollywood is so. It's just constant disappointment, constant,
Yeah.
and that's why I think that's why I've never really felt brunt of that so much. Just because, I mean, I didn't get this part or this didn't happen for me.
Yeah.
It's like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as having a colostomy bag. It's not so. Yeah, you can't affect my personal health. So what can you possibly do to me but deny me something?
Yeah.
So
Well, I would have liked the part, but I don't have a shit bag attached to me.
yeah, so
Shit, I have to empty
Yeah.
out. When you were emptying out that shit bag, if people walked into the bathroom, were they like, "Oh my god"?
well, typically I didn't leave home a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, and that story that I told at your show was one of the few times that I did leave home.
Yeah.
And obviously that was
Those
kind
stories,
of
by the way,
a harrowing experience.
had started being digitized now, so now I have to
Awesome.
get permission from everybody. You gave me permission already.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And then I'm going to put it up. I guess within the next month or two.
Cool.
I'm going to start with all those. Yours will probably be one of the first 5.
Nice.
It was a really good story, man.
Yeah.
That was a really good story.
It's a good story. I like telling that story.
Do you have any really good celebrity encounters
I don't know.
that you can tell?
I mean,
Are you going to be in Montreal this year?
no, I went last year.
Okay.
So-
you did one last year? Fuck Story
Yeah.
last year?
No, I was a new face last year.
Oh.
So I think they kind of have like a
Oh, yeah.
they let you sit for a little bit before
Yeah, they've
bringing
been
you
pretty
back.
cool with me. They let me do the Nasty show a few years ago,
Right.
and then I wanted to go back and do my Storyteller show last year.
Right.
And they said, it's 3 years. It's 2 years off, then you can do the Nasty show
Right.
again. I was like, well, how about, why is that a rule?
Yeah.
What do you mean, didn't you like me? I have all new material.
Right.
It's been 2 years. And they're like, all right.
For what show?
For the Nasty show?
The Nasty. Oh, the Nasty show.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
a
Yeah.
dirty show. It's one of their more popular shows.
Right. Maybe I can do it next year. I'd like to.
Yeah, and then they let me come back this year again to do more Storyteller shows because
Cool.
they like the idea of people doing them.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
really
try to
popular.
go back. You know, it's just a fun.
Well, it's too late
We hung
now.
out during a day that
I think we did.
me and Rutherford. We took bikes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
That was fun as shit.
That was fun.
We rented bikes. We went to the old
So
town.
hot. So hot and
It
sunny.
was so hot.
God.
Do you burn easy?
Totally. I don't like the
Yeah.
sun, man. I do not like the sun. That's the other thing. I used to take there's certain antibiotics I used to take
Yeah.
that you can't be out in the sun. Like, it makes you burn twice as fast.
Really?
Yeah. Some kinds
Does
of
your
weird.
brother? Can your brother tan easy?
I think so.
So
Better.
you really fucked up your body hard from this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely.
I mean, you don't look like a freak. Like it turns you Irish.
Yeah, it turns you Irish or. That's the thing with a lot of people who have bowel disease. They
Yeah.
also a lot of them look really young because of that. Because it makes you age slower.
Are you going to look older when you hit like 40?
I don't know. There's no telling.
Wow.
I mean, I don't.
You're not going to be like Webster.
No, because he has a disease.
All right.
He has like a pituitary disease.
And so now you shit normally and stuff?
No,
No. You still like a black.
I have control over the urgency.
Okay.
Like, I don't have to go. If I have to go to the bathroom, I was like, okay, I can go an hour or two from now, and I'll be okay.
So if you're driving down to San Diego, there's never like fuck.
Oh yeah, man, road trips for years were like, I was deathly afraid of a road trip. I didn't do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I didn't do just because I didn't want to have to deal with the possibility of shitting in the car
Yeah.
with a friend or someone or revealing
I was
this.
a bedwetter, and when people
Right.
wanted to have sleepovers, that became a really tough time
Yeah.
for me because
It's
like there's a 1
definitely-
in 3 chance I'm gonna piss my bed in front of my friend.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. So it's a thing where you have to. It changes your life.
You're
Yeah.
just what you do. But now you can you just pull over to a rest stop. You're like in the next 30 minutes. Let's just
Oh
pull
yeah,
over.
totally. It's much better.
Okay.
It's
Do you take medication?
Yeah, I take medication. Yeah.
And that's okay with you?
It's good. Yeah.
What are the negative side effects from it?
Well, nothing really. I take antibiotics. There's this weird thing where your pouch, the J pouch, it's like this. It's like the opposite of before, where it gets it gets bacteria, weird types of bacteria builds up in it, and it causes what's called pouchitis, which is basically just colitis all over again, but it's just in a smaller area. So I take antibiotics to treat that. And antibiotics have all kinds of side effects, but they're not like hideous side effects or anything.
Isn't the worst side effects of antibiotics is that you get used to antibiotics?
Yeah. So I switch them out a lot, and also they make you they dry you out a lot. Like they make you tired. It can make you tired.
So when you fuck, your pussy gets sore.
Pussy gets sandy.
Yeah,
it gets sandy.
That's tough.
I think there's also there's a sun thing with it. I don't know. I don't think about it that much. It's sort of.
Do you get drunk easier?
I don't think so.
Isn't that thing when you're on antibiotics, like you can't drink, or if
you're not supposed to because it weakens the antibiotics. So there's one antibiotic I used to take. I don't take it anymore. That it used to make when I drink, it would make me like
bombed.
But it would make me like a weirdo. I would turn into a weirdo.
Really?
I would want to take my pants off on the street and just weird shit.
Wow.
It was like a multipliers effect kind of thing.
Wow, that's cool.
It was weird. It would make me kind of black out a little bit, or it would make me. I would write stuff. I'd write stuff when I was drinking and taking it, and I would look back and like, what the hell was I talking about?
Like that episode of Facts of Life where the rich girl goes up to write her report. Do you remember this one?
No, I don't.
And she smokes pot.
Okay.
And then she's like, just so you guys, it comes down like an hour later, just so you guys know, I nailed my report.
Right.
Finished. I'm good.
And then she reads it, and it's
Next morning, it's like 2 words per page for 6 pages.
Oh.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
not
pot
true.
would never have that effect on you.
Make you write something awesome.
Or it makes no sense, but you wouldn't not know time and place and...
Right.
Anyway, all right. Well, I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Do you ever hear that song on the Batman soundtrack where Joker says his town needs an enema? Remember that?
No.
Oh, I think I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I'm gonna fade out with this song right now.
Okay, I like that.
I just remember that.
Fade it out.
All right.
Bye, Ari.
Bye, Johnny. Boom, that's it, you guys. I'm done. That's the episode. Episode 66, Shitbag, in the books. Thank you, Johnny Pemberton, for sharing your fucking horrible colon stories with us. Everybody follow him on Twitter or whatever else. And watch his show when it comes out in January. I always like turning on TV and seeing my friends. It's gotten way better now. The less and less I audition for like Hollywood stuff, or the farther away I remove from auditioning for that stuff, the happier I am to see my friends in one of those things. It's like, nothing to do with me. I still like auditioning when I do, but maybe it's not the further I move from auditioning, because I audition the same amount always, barely any. But like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just as I become older, I'm less combative. But anyway, yeah, I always like to see my friends in things, and now I'll be able to see him in this, everybody. Even shitty things. It's always like, yeah, it's not for me, it's not funny, but good for you for being in a sitcom. That's probably a lot of money and some notoriety for you. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe to these. Don't forget to subscribe. What was I just going to say? Shroomfest, July. Don't forget, July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Come to that Shroomfest show in Montreal the night of the 23rd, midnight, to recap it all. Come down there or go up there. Fuck it. Well, there's something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was.